and welcome to D&D, everyone.
What's D&D?
Dogs and ducks.
Do not disturb. Oh.
All right. So everyone here is a applicant for the Crossblades Adventuring Guild, formerly a rather powerful, rich guild. It has fallen on rough times in recent years. You've joined the guild for your own reasons and have listened to the stories of the guild's past glories from the ancient guild master, Alistair Page, in one of the last guild halls that remain on the planet you're on. The treasure room has been slowly emptied out to continue paying for bills, food, anything needed to survive. But this morning, on an early summer day, is a special morning. You are all accompanying the one of the last guild members, Sir Rowan Sharp, and his squire, Elia Oak, and they are taking you to, in essence, do your very first guild mission to actually become a full member of the guild. As you ride down this warm, early summer path, it is cloudy, there is a slight drizzle, and the wind blows from the east, and just the little hint of pollen in the air. Sir Rowan speaks to you as he mentions the mission you are going on. Sir Rowan himself is a man in his early 30s with his dark black hair cut short. He has a well-trimmed beard, and he has a scar running across his cheek and nose from a single blade slash. His squire, Elia Oak, she's in her late teens, 18 or 19 you would guess. Blonde hair to the shoulder length, tied in a ponytail, and she is fresh-faced with a few freckles on her cheeks. As Rowan Sharp speaks, all right, everyone. So, we've been getting word from one of the guild's last sponsors. It's Lord Tibbet Harkins. Apparently a village here has some of its livestock being eaten, and we're going to go out, find whatever is stealing the livestock, and kill it. So, Rowan, unfortunately, Lord Tibbet here has been rather unable to find the creature, and he actually hands you some arrows. If you look at the feathers here, these the black, red, those are the colors of Lord Harkin's family. Seems he's been out hunting and hasn't been able to find it.
Are we together at this point?
Yes, all together, just riding along a trail.
Okay. Pretty feathers.
Yes indeed, Chungus. Anyway, it's been rough.
From a bird.
At one point, indeed.
Where's the bird?
I believe it is dead now.
No.
What do we know about the disappearing livestock?
Not much. That's really up to you.
Okay, so there's no info yet. We're kind of
Has
going.
Lord Tibbet made any progress that he's willing to disclose?
Lord Tibbet is simply rode out hunting, fired a few arrows off, which I found on my earlier scout, and apparently hasn't found anything because he's hired us. I'm leaving this primarily up to you.
Anyway.
Okay, let's go find the bird.
Well, I suppose some chickens are missing, Chungus, so in fact, you really do need to find a bird.
So if we were to find these chickens and keep them, then we would have chickens.
What other manner of livestock has gone missing?
That's up for you to find out.
Okay. So
See, I've not done any scouting, really, beyond my initial ride out this morning. This is really supposed to be your, well, in essence, bloodening.
You
Don't
want us to
worry.
kill the chickens?
My squire Elia will be accompanying you to make sure you don't die.
Does this guy seem kind of frazzled or kind of past the end of his rope, or
Sharp? Nope, Sharp seems like he's out and about, eager. You're the new fresh blood for the guild. Actually, this is some of the largest crop he's seen in a while lately. So he's actually, in good spirits.
All right.
As you ride down the trail, a couple of peasants are walking down, sack over the shoulder. One of them sees your group running down, and the symbol of the Crossblades Adventuring Guild, and I'm actually going to show you real quick. Right there. It's actually 6 crossblades.
Those swords look impractical.
But the symbol is on a banner that is along the back of the horse that Rowan Sharp is wearing, just to show that you are, in fact, members of the guild. One of the peasants sees this, picks up from his bag a rotten tomato, and throws it at your group.
Chungus picks up the tomato and eats it.
It's good.
As we pass, Piffle Tulip says, Psst. Hey, you two. You want to make some money?
Piss off.
I'll
Take too much money from our village. The Lord taxes us to pay you. At which point Rowan Sharp pulls out his sword and charges after the peasants. They turn and run. He takes the flat of his blade and strikes one of them across the back. The peasant falls down, obviously hurt but not bleeding, and Sharp rejoins you.
bit tense
Well,
around here.
Mr. Sharp, if you drive off the peasants and abuse them, then I can't part them from their coins.
These peasants don't know the good we've done lately. All they think is we take their tax. The Lord takes their taxes, so they pay us. It's not that simple.
Exactly.
And there used to be a time when we were respected.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well,
Respect, that's very important to me.
Hard times?
I've been in the guild since I was 8, 9. Grew up in the guild. You could walk down the street and people would, they might salute you. They might at least give you a wave, but they at least wouldn't throw rotten fruit at you.
What changed?
So we used to have respect.
It's been a lean few years. It's not been great either the past couple decades, unfortunately, but it is what it is. The lean years come and go. I figure you'll all pass this test. You'll all be joining the guild, and we'll be back on our feet soon enough.
all right.
This is out of character. He has no idea what the hell he's in for.
At this point, a rider on a horse rides up to Sharp. They whisper briefly. All right, everyone. I've got a message in a nearby town I've got to take. I'll be letting... well, actually, no, Elia. Just make sure they're okay, but don't lead the way. The rest of you guys head towards Hillsburg. That's the town that has been having the livestock getting stolen. Go investigate, find out what's going on, and deal with it. I'll be back in a few hours.
Thanks, Mr. Knife. We'll go to Pittsburgh now.
I reckon we should be all right on our own.
Has anyone checked if there is a population of foxes?
Is there any known population of bandits or monsters of any kind, beings that would want to eat these that we know about, out of character?
Perhaps wolves?
Well, there are dangerous animals, or animals that at least steal livestock.
Beasts.
This has been... You've just been told that it's like more endemic lately. So that the livestock getting stolen aren't just like chickens or anything, and a lot more being stolen in one go.
Okay, and there's no blood or signs of like.
Well, let's go there and look for
Okay,
signs.
so we don't know that yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, you don't know a lot. They've
Right.
basically given you a mission where they haven't told you anything for the express purpose that you are supposed to go out and do the
Try to
legwork.
divine any information.
Yep. Heading to the village of Hillsburg. It's a small little farming village. A few rolling hills, a lot of shacks, and streets are unpaved. The peasants, as you ride in on your horses, look at you. Most of them not really caring so much. A few of them giving you withering looks.
Real friendly folk around here, huh?
Chungus just greets them all. He's just like,
Hello, everyone.
Most of them just
How are you?
turn away. A few of them give you a friendly wave.
Hi. Where are we going?
This way, Chungus.
getting the right.
Follow the group now.
Have we all properly introduced each other to each other?
Not you've met each other briefly, but this is your first time traveling out together. And why don't we go through everyone, see what you all, who you are, what you look like.
All right. My guy is a very tall, kind of broad-chested, human guy, clean-shaven. He's got short-cropped hair, and he's got a very large straw hat with a single candle on the brim over the forehead. Not currently lit, but it's got blue tallow, and it's got some runners going down the brim. He seems very soft-spoken and mild so far, very friendly and polite. Bit of a rural accent to him for people who can tell or are from the parts. And he's also wearing pretty heavy armor beneath some robes, and he's got a small skull that seems to be smiling as an icon on his shield.
All right.
What's your character's name? What's your name?
He
Mortal
introduced
Kombat
himself as Graham. He didn't offer a last name or anything.
Graham.
All right.
So far, he's just been pretty mild, pretty agreeable, just friendly, direct. The hat's the weird thing so far.
All right. What does Kaito look like?
Kaito looks pretty similar to the picture that you've chosen for him. He has bags under his eyes. You can tell that he hasn't slept in a very, very long time. He tends to hum a lot, which means you can see him from, or you can hear him from very far away. He's constantly humming. There's a mystery around him where he has a little bit of a haunted backstory, but from what you could see, he's constantly tired, constantly mumbling to himself. He has armor on him, but it's old, tattered. He's in need of upgraded armor for sure.
Clearly works for Stanley.
Clearly works. What gave it away? The bags under the eyes?
The bags under the eyes and the shitty armor that needs replacing that.
Yeah. You could swear you could see a Black & Decker slogan on there, but you're not quite sure if you can make it out. He's a bit quiet. He's reserved. And there are really, really dark circles under his eyes from not being able to sleep. Other than that, not much from Kaito. He's very reserved. Slightly quiet, on the quiet side as well.
All right. What does Fiffle look like?
So, as as the party rides down the street, a casual observer may at first glance miss the halfling tagging along towards the back, possibly mistaking him for a piece of baggage hanging off one of the horses. As you look more closely, you see this character, small even for a halfling, looks really dirty and greasy, like he spent last night in a hole he just dug in the ground. That's because he spent last night in a hole that he just dug in the ground. And yeah, that's Biffle Tulip.
All right. What about Jacques Lucien?
Jacques Lucien. He's gonna I'm gonna go for a French accent with him.
Okay.
And he's kind of a little pompous in that nature, but he's very shifty. He's a wizard thief essentially, and he's trying to get his hands on everything and anything that's shiny, magical, beautiful, anything. So he's always kind of like shifty-eyed, looking at everything all the time. So he's not exactly like tuned into the conversation per se around him, as much as like people's location and what they can see and what they can't see and how he can get around them, so that he can always kind of be in a spot where he can see the most and everybody else sees the least. Because he's very frail, very frail. So he also is like always trying to disguise himself with different techniques, and he's usually hooded too, and doesn't often appear as himself, but right now he's decided to commit to this guild and is trying to forge a bond with these new adventurers so that he can mesh with the team and try to capitalize with them, because again, he's very weak, so he has to kind of see what the team is like and try to stay out of their way, help them.
All right, perfect. And Otto. What does...
Ed's having mic problems.
Okay. What about Chungus? Mike? Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. I think you're muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Mike.
Let me just take a
Oh,
look.
my microphone was actually muted. The actual microphone.
Oh,
This
the hard line.
here. Yeah. Is there music playing?
There is, yes.
Okay, all right. So Chungus is like this just brutish, like beast of a creature. He's like 6'8", and is like 380 pounds. Just a massive brute. He was like a traveling circus sideshow. He would just perform feats of strength before he was liberated by Jeremy's half-orc character.
Halfling, yeah.
And he doesn't really know that he was liberated. He doesn't care. He would have been fine being a circus sideshow attraction. He basically wears like some leather like short shorts, and has like a leather like strap that like goes over that keeps his like giant great axe, just like a huge like 6-foot great axe on his back. And that's it. He's just about as dumb of a creature as you could potentially imagine. But he's a behemoth.
All right. So, as you all make your introductions to one another, well, you've seen each other throughout. This is the first time you've actually kind of really talked to each other. As you make your introductions, Elia Oak has been out kind of in a patch of grass, picking flowers, at which point she comes back and she hands each of you a small, like, little bracelet made of grass and flowers.
Chungus tries to eat it.
No, Chungus, that's a good luck charm from my village.
Oh,
Thank you.
Mighty kind of you.
Oh, not a problem. We're all family, really. Well, at least we will be soon. I'll be, Sir Sharp has asked that I just watch and make sure you are okay and that you complete this mission. And I'm hoping we can help the people of this village. Losing livestock always rough when I was growing up.
Hooray.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, so Elia has given everyone the grass bracelet as a good luck charm. And what does Otto look like, Ed?
Okay, hold on. Let me get this other one out of the way.
Okay.
I actually think it's the other laptop that's a piece of shit now.
Aw.
So, Otto's 23, 24, about 6'2". He's got dark brown hair, a well-maintained goatee. He's got a battle-hardened face from what he's seen from his past, and he's very studious of people he's not used to.
All right. All right then. So as you are in this village, you finished introductions. You've gotten these good luck bracelets. What is everyone doing?
So we've made it to the village proper?
Yep, you're basically in the outskirts of the village. You see these shacks in front of you. This is not a big village. It is from where you're standing to about as far back as you can see, just kind of like shacks. Kind of dirty, very muddy as the rain starts to pick up.
Reckon we should look for the animal pens. They on the inside or the outside of town? Kind of does a look around with his hand on the brim of his hat with the water just kind of cascading down around his hand.
Make an investigation check.
I will make an investigation check. Hang on, bear with me.
You did the Final Fantasy 14 lookout emote,
Yes,
pretty much.
I did.
Yeah, he did. I noticed that right away.
All right. Graham is able to see some tracks for animals and is able to follow them to a point on a slightly larger shack that appears to actually be a barn with a bit of fencing around it.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's it. You find the what you believe to be a barn with some livestock.
Okay, are those A, the only set of tracks, and B, does the fencing look intact?
The fencing, the tracks you see are currently the only set you see. The fencing itself does look like it was very recently patched.
Okay. Well, suppose we ought to find the proprietor of this here barn. Y'all seen him?
You see a man standing outside the barn with a bit of straw in his mouth, much like
Hey there,
Graham.
feller.
Eh?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good.
Kind of walks over, stands under the roof where the rain is not, takes his hat off and just kind of lets it drip to the side a minute. The candle holds onto it like it's like magnetized.
Ooh.
And just nice to meet you, sir. My name's Graham. I'm with the Cross Blades. We're here to help with your missing livestock. What can you tell us?
My name's Pete. Great. Well, so you're Crossblades, huh? Hoping the Lord here could send out somebody a bit better, but I'll take what I can get. All right, take a look. Follow me around back. And he starts heading towards the back where the fencing is.
And Graham will motion for the others to come with him and follow the guy as he replaces his hat.
Because they don't really like us here.
Hard times, huh?
He just kind of grunts. So, it's happened 2 days ago, and it's been happening for the past month now. Fence keeps breaking, sheep, pigs, even a whole cow missing.
Kind of rubs his chin. Same spot in the fence? Different spots?
Different spots. I'm just the latest.
Any blood? Any mess?
Plenty of blood. Dogs kept barking all the last night, or the other night. Animals screaming something horrid. And take a look there, and he points, and there's a large footprint.
Was that a Sam Squange?
I don't know what it is.
Can we do an investigation roll?
Yeah, anybody who is
How big is it?
Yeah, do an investigation roll, and you'll be able to get more information about it.
Let's have a
Investigate.
Not doing any rolls like that.
All right. Yeah. So taking a look, Kaito is actually able. All of you together take a look, and you see that it is a humanoid footprint. It would be a bare foot that is approximately about 2 feet across, or like 2 feet long. Kaito is actually able to see that it's also very deep, indicating that it's a very heavy thing, whatever made this footprint.
Breakfast.
Chungus, you're correct.
Wait,
This
how
is
many-
a Sasquatch.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how is it? Was it bipedal or like on fours? But
A
now.
big one.
What went missing and when? What was last night's caper?
2 nights.
Yeah, the cat's right. It was 2 nights ago. 2 sheep.
2 sheep. Nah. You reckon whoever made off with them might have lifted them out? Might set a heavier boot tread if they was carrying them.
Mm-hmm.
How fluffy.
They're about ready to get sheared. Them missing is bad for me.
Fluffy.
Do you have anyone who would try to sabotage you or hurt your business?
I couldn't think of anyone. We're all been picked upon by whatever this thing is over the past month. Most people here have gotten hurt in one way or another by it.
That's real interesting.
Are there any neighboring towns that might benefit if your economy was to be depressed?
I can't think of any. I mean, any other town's a few miles away. We were hoping to shear the sheep, spin the wool into thread and bring it into the city to sell.
Do we see which way the footprints are going?
Make an investigation check, just to or a survival check to track it.
Oops.
All right. Yep. Kaido's actually able to see that, and Otto, working together, the two of you do in fact. Oh, and Graham too. Damn, good rolls. All of the 3 of you together are able to see the tracks. So the fence itself is, while it is patched recently, you do see some bits of wood that have been broken in and are sitting in the pen, as well as tracks leading to another spot that has been recently patched with bits of wood outside of it, heading down a hill a ways. You can travel about 300 feet before the tracks get onto rougher, rockier terrain where they don't leave as thick footprints.
Where generally, if you draw a line, are they leading? Like, is there like a forest or something they're heading into, or into the rocks?
I would say with that survival check, you're able to see that it's heading towards what appears to be a nearby swamp.
Ito points towards the swamp and he just goes,
when was the attack before the previous one? So the other one, the most recent was 2 days ago. What was the one before that?
You're not sure. You were given a lot of information. You probably have to check around with people to find out.
Yeah, why don't we?
Because if it's every couple of days, that means it's due to attack again.
And we can ask our unhappy townsmen. Now, who else has been affected most recently by this, so we can see if we can find some patterns?
Well, my neighbor, about 4 days ago, 5 days ago, got some
3
chickens
days.
stolen from him.
Birdie.
About another 5 days to a week before that, a whole couple of pigs.
Now, you never hear the animals making a scene?
Oh no, we hear them. They scream something fierce, but I'm not going out there. Whatever busted its way through my fence is too much for me.
You ain't wrong.
we can create an ambush or we could just head to the swamp.
Now, that looks like a human footprint, so that suggests some kind of rustling or thieving of some sort rather than wild animals, but you never know. Anybody live out them ways?
The swamp, crocodiles mostly.
Hmm.
He goes to the footprint you pointed at and puts his own foot into it, and his foot goes up to about like ankle height, and also his foot is like half the size of this footprint.
And is it like a boot print or like a toes?
Yep, toes. It's like
I think it's a bear. It's a barefoot.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
He has his like kind of like very rough peasant boot that just fits into the hole.
Nah.
Have to look for beanstalk, guys.
The other things that have been missing are some tools got taken. We had gotten some wool from a few months ago, spun it, turned it into a banner, dyed it a nice blue, and that's missing too. That was some of the. That was going to fetch us a good price.
The bear doesn't usually steal those things.
Nah, I'm thinking some kind of giant man.
What kind of giant man lives in the swamp?
The kind that steals cattle and banners and textiles, apparently.
Perhaps a lizard man of some kind?
Troll.
These are the men.
I don't rightly know. I'm not so learned in your ways of nature so much as spiritual matters.
Yeah, I try to avoid nature mostly myself.
Good lord.
Chungus, you ever been to the swamp?
I've been to the swamp before, yeah. I fought an alligator once.
Yeah?
Huh.
Yeah. I used to wrestle all kinds of things.
Huh.
Did you say we were riding along a trail? So are we all on horseback?
You had dismounted.
We parked.
Yep.
Let's go to the swamp and watch Chungus wrestle an alligator.
Yes, let us
I'll
explore
wrestle
this
anything you
swamp.
want.
Those seem like the place to go, though.
Kiffy.
Anyone else you think we should talk to who might have some pertinent information about the case?
Can anybody talk to animals?
I have animal handling.
Might be able to given a day, but
I'm not probably going to be able to communicate very well, though.
Yeah, we need some druid animal chatting or something.
Animal chatting.
Yeah, that's a technical term.
I could.
Animal.
Like talk to animals or talk to animals, I think, or something like that.
Well, actually, a sheep does come up to Chungus and looks at
Oh,
him.
hi there.
Bah.
I just like pet it a bit, like gently.
It's very
What did
fluffy.
he say, Chungus? What did he say?
He said they went that way.
Does he point towards the swamp?
Did
No.
you
No.
say that? Did you say they as in multiple?
Points back towards the house or towards the farm.
Chungus, that's a barn.
Okay.
Roxanne, I don't have. I just like had to show Roxanne that there's no food up here. I'll show you.
So, before we set out, I'm gonna ask our local peasant if there's anybody else he thinks we should talk to. He said the neighbor.
Yep. My neighbor Phil got his chicken stolen. And the other neighbor Henry got his pig stolen.
Now, how close are y'all neighbors to you?
He just points to like one house and then the other, and they're basically like at most 10 feet apart.
Have all the thieving been on this side of town?
It's been throughout the whole town. Anything not nailed down, and some stuff that is has been taken if it looks like it made of metal or gives you food.
Somebody is hoarding.
Might be somebody moved in and is looking to get themselves set up. Could pick a better spot than the swamp, but then again, maybe they couldn't.
Maybe it's a Valheim Viking. Anything on the that we look at the broken fences, like any like clothes, any hints there?
Oh yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation roll. Yep. So Otto is actually able to identify. He sees a torn leather scrap on a piece of the fence that is like the scraps of wood on the ground. There is a bit of leather. It's like a kind of thick, poorly tanned piece of leather.
Uh-huh.
Something may be trying to clothe itself. Why not go to the swamp?
Yeah, it seems all roads, or lack of.
I agree. I think we should head to the swamp. It's so far our best bet.
These town folks, they know nothing. Let's go. Or we'll wait at night, and we can set a little trap.
Well, no reason we can't scout it out and then head back to town.
Hmm?
Do a little bit
Hmm?
both.
Yes.
Early
yes.
All right.
I am a bit sneaky. I could scout the swamp, just take a peek. Anybody else sneaky?
That not so much.
I've been known to move silently through swamp.
Muting myself. I can follow you. I guess sneaky. I don't know.
You're pretty loud, Jungus.
Yeah, that's true too.
So why don't you stay here with the horses and the sheep?
I'll stay with the horses.
I think I should stay with Chungus only because I'm always humming.
What is
I ain't exactly stealthy, but I ain't exactly noisy neither.
dexterity?
Scout it out, boys.
All right.
I don't know how stealthy I would actually be.
No, I'm in out of character. I'm not very stealthy. I have a +1 with dexterity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Also, I
I'm,
think
I'm,
that
I'm,
his
I'm at that point. too.
Chungus's nature would counteract that.
Well, then I won't go by myself.
The swamp.
Chungus, maybe you
It's
can
probably
carry
pretty
me
sneaky.
later, so I don't have to get my paws dirty.
You're cute.
As you approach the swamp, you see it actually is it's very wide and deep as far as you can tell. It stretches at least a couple of miles from where you're standing in either direction, left and right. And like the thick woods with the kind of sinking mud travels far as your eye can see to the back.
Do we see any?
Can you pick up a trail?
Yeah, a trail of like the steps.
Make a survival check. Otto is having a little bit of a tough time. He's going to have to really put a lot of effort into finding what he's looking for. He does find trails, but he's not sure if it's what he's looking for. Graham is lost.
Yeah. Nah, I know plenty about fields and hills, not so much about swamps.
Fiffle is able to find a few broken branches indicating something large has passed by.
Can
Something went this way, fellas.
could we reference from where he found that to where we were coming from to see if it's the same kind of like direction?
Kaido is actually able to see that, yes, the trail from where the footprints stop, it in essence is a straight line directly to these broken branches. Some of the broken branches are actually still kind of hanging and swinging from like the little bit of fiber still left, indicating that this was done relatively recently.
And this is straight into a swamp.
Yep.
How deep is this?
Like how far back? Like how many? Like
No, deep, like literally deep into like if we walked into like I'm assuming there's water and all that.
Yep. The swamp itself there's bits of dry land. Oh, let's say kind of damp land, but that is above like the water line. The water itself looks to be it can go from like ankle to knee to even waist deep at points. But Yeah, Kaido's actually able to find a good trail, following like these broken branches and a few additional footprints where they survived. A lot of it has been covered by water over the past couple days.
Down the trail.
So are we all together right now, or did we split up in?
Half of us, or a couple of us, are back with the horses.
Okay. Elia goes to the people, the horses. Like, would you mind staying together? I just have to. I have to tell Sir Sharp about what everyone's doing.
Okay, miss.
Thank you, Chungus. And she gives you like a pat on the shoulder. She like reaches up to give you a pat on the shoulder.
Tell Mr. Knife I said hi.
You can. He'll be back soon, Chungus. Don't worry.
Okay, thanks. I wasn't worried, but... Hi.
All right. So from the trail you're able to pick up, Kaido's able to see that it does travel back about 400 feet that he can track it through.
To 400 feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go like about 400 feet into the swamp. Is about how far he can see it goes, or the trail he's picked up.
Let's follow the trail then.
Yeah, let's follow it. It's
Yes.
Or all
Sure.
of you. I figure at this point, anybody who has tried to rejoin the rest of the group has gotten there. Has anybody stayed by the horses?
Yeah, we can find some place to lodge them in town, right?
They basically is it's a wooden post with a water trough that you could just tie the horses to.
Okay. Yeah, I think Chungus just like ties the horses there. He's capable of that task, I believe.
Yeah.
Is he? Do I need to roll for this?
This is simple enough. I think Chungus would be able to
I think that he would have done this before in the past, just like, in passing. And it's not really something that requires intellect. So he's just like, okay, horse, see you later.
He just like ties a knot in the reins, but he doesn't actually tie it to anything.
Does the horse?
Yeah.
the horse just neighs and walks away.
Just have one horse to the other horse.
Yup.
Secure.
No, he ties the horses to the post.
One horse to the other is like, that guy's a really nice guy, but he's dumb as rocks.
I'll be right back. Sorry, my stomach's acting up.
Okay. But you have the trail.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yep, you have the trail. I figure most of you guys, like everyone has actually at this point gathered back together.
Okay.
Elia is just, she's trying to be polite about it, but she's like, please stay together. I really don't want to disappoint Sir Sharp, everyone.
Sure, anything for you, for
Aw.
some reason.
Thank you, Chungus.
For some reason.
Chunk gonna be like, you're really pretty. That's why I'm staying here. So
But-
Chungus is the only one that stayed, or did he?
No,
came
he
too?
just tied up the horses. I think he
Yeah, I'm
followed.
joining the group of you guys.
Okay,
Yep.
so
So
yeah,
we're all
here.
together. We should continue on. There's we
Yeah.
saw a trail 300 to 400 feet away. I think
Yep.
we
Yeah.
should continue on deeper into the swamp.
I think any water waiting we need to do, we should probably like get one of those larger sticks just to see how deep it is before we if we hit anything.
Okay.
Well, Chungus is also extraordinarily athletic, so that's one thing to use to your advantage.
The Chungus should lead
Chungus,
the
how
pack in
strong
the
are you? Could you carry, say, a cat?
A cat.
I could carry at least 6 cats.
Oh yes.
Sure, I've seen him.
Let me just make friends with you. I like you a lot. Would you carry me through the swamp so I wouldn't get dirty?
Chungus just like picks up the cat and like gives him a piggyback ride.
Whee!
Just for my sheer delight, make a athletics check, please. Yup. Chungus just
Wow, he can carry 6 cats.
Yeah.
Easy.
He did not lie.
picks
Did
up
not lie.
Jacques and
That was
just
a
plops him
perfect
on his shoulders.
By the way, you guys can call me Jacques, and if you're mad, maybe Jacques.
Jacques.
All right, so I think Chungus should lead, seeing as how we can.
Yeah, and he just
Get
like
out of
doesn't care about like getting hurt or
Mud. What's
any of
mud?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he just like goes the way they tell him to go.
Okay, I'll go
Walking.
this way.
All right. Walking down through this trail, a few branches actually do kind of like go very close to where Jacques' head is.
Jacques.
Watch your head up there.
Eventually, following like these 400 feet in, you lose the trail, but you do actually see about 15 feet up in a tree on a tall branch is a blue kind of fabric that is blowing in the wind.
Can we see what's on? Is there like an insignia on the fabric? Is this like a torn flag or just a fabric?
Can Chungus only reach it?
You'd have to climb the tree. It's 15 feet up, so it takes a bit of a.
It's on the tree.
So
it's on,
what
like, a limb
about
of the tree.
well, what about the combined height of Chungus and Cat?
Can I
Chungus.
use my cat claws to climb the tree?
Yeah, you can try that.
Jacques.
So I use my cat claws to climb the tree
Okay.
and check out this.
Make an athletics, but do it at advantage.
Okay.
Actually, did Tabaxi have like special stuff that lets them climb trees?
Yeah, their claws are good for climbing apparently.
Let me check one
Double
thing.
movement or something for climbing, or less of.
Oh, you do actually have a climbing speed. Yep. No, you're fine. You're able to get up to the top without any real trouble then.
Awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So.
That's super useful.
Did you still want the athletics checks? Because mine's not great, so it might not work out.
Because you have a climbing speed, you don't really have to worry about that in this case.
Okay.
You fall, Chungus catches you.
Yeah. My athletics is -1, so.
What? The least athletic cat.
It's based off of strength.
Garfield. We have Garfield.
I have dexterity, but not strength and athletics. But yeah, so I climb up there and try to investigate it a little bit more.
Yep. Getting to the top, it is a blue cloak. It is a wool spun cloak that looks like it was relatively recently made. Some of the dye is rubs off still. It just hasn't had time to really dry much. And I'm sorry. And the weather you're in does not really do it any favors either.
In terms of like swaying up there and not being steady.
No, just like the rain is like really causing the dye to run.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
So I kind of call down to them and tell them what I see, and I pick it up and bring it over to the group. Can I are the trees? Is it a lot of trees or kind of more sparse, kind of weak trees? Like, could I navigate the treetops a little bit?
Some of them are close together. You could attempt to like jump from one tree to another. And while there are some like smaller, thinner trees, there are some larger trees. They don't have any leaves on them really, but they do have thicker branches that you think would hold your weight.
Okay, I'm gonna try to continue on just navigating through the branches, and then maybe I'll talk to Chungus if I feel like I need to step down to get on his back again, and then get back up on the trees.
Okay. So from the branch of the tree you're on currently to the next closest tree, you're going to have to make a jump.
Okay.
And that is going to require a roll. Just investigating, you can see that it's not like close enough to like grab from one hand to the other. So this would be to grab onto the branch. It'd be either be acrobatics or athletics.
Okay. Let's do acrobatics.
Okay.
Not great.
You jump and grab, and it's too wet, and you slide off, and you start to fall.
Sacre bleu.
Ah! Shite.
Does anybody?
I mean, I guess I'm going to attempt to catch him. Yeah, we're going to attempt to catch him.
Make an athletics to attempt to catch him.
Oh.
Okay, so Chungus goes to go and grab him, and he
I
just
think you might be falling.
Laugh.
he does not have him in the. He thinks he's in the right spot, and just right next to him, plump. It's
Nice.
softer ground, but you do take 4 hit points of damage.
Ooh. I'm almost dead, my friends. I will not try this again.
Should have just stayed on
Carry
Chungus'
me.
back. You need me to look at that?
Oh, please, I have 2 hit points left.
Oh.
Then
Cat down.
the little blue candle on his brimmed straw hat lights up on its own with a blue flame, and he puts a hand on our little fox boy and cure wounds.
Okay, go ahead and roll the.
Let me see if this works. I'm not sure if I filled it. Hey, it works. Cool.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And well, you get back to full health. 6 points of hit healing.
Oh, that was a complete
And
heal.
just like that,
Thank you,
you're
thank
fine
you.
again.
Mon ami. Merci.
What is Cure Wounds? Is that a cantrip or what is it?
No, that's a first level spell. I get 2
Oh,
a
wow.
day.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Keep a rest anyway. Forget how.
I believe it is every long rest refill your spell slots.
Yeah. Now, that kind of magic don't grow on trees. We got to be a little careful with it.
Yes.
Why don't you try it again, Jacques?
Forgot how frail I was. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
So
You're
we should continue on unless somebody else wants to try climbing again.
Nah.
I mean, Chungus could probably climb up the tree pretty easily.
Man, but if you fall, there's gonna be a dent on the floor.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be trying to catch
Is there any value in us climbing up the tree? Like, what are we doing with it for that now? It's just
we
a
did
scout?
find that cloak.
Yep.
Oh, he got the cloak.
Oh, can we
Jacques, is there-
search the cloak? If there's
Yep.
any pockets or anything?
Yep. Take a look at the cloak.
Accuse was successful in getting the cloak.
Yep.
Not so graceful upon my re-entry.
You're checking out if there's fall damage, that's all.
Exactly. Well, generally speaking, fall damage is 1d6 per every 10 feet. But with the muddier, softer ground, it's 1d4 for the swamp
Got it.
for every 10 feet.
There.
Looking on the cloak, you can see there's a muddy handprint, approximately the size of a large dinner plate.
Jeez.
So a very big.
Looks like a human hand with
Yep.
4 fingers and a thumb.
Exactly. And the cloak itself looks to be what the what Farmer Pete had described to you as being stolen a little while ago.
Now this was up there, huh? Kind of looks up at the trees.
Yep.
What's that big and goes through trees?
15 feet.
It was 15 feet. With that investigation, I'd say you'd probably be able to figure out that the wind probably blew it up maybe a little bit over the course of these few days it's been missing.
I reckon something that big weighs too much for them branches.
If we know the
Stole
size
this
of
and just left it?
Might be.
So is this most of the cloak or the whole cloak, or
There's some bits ripped off of it.
so this thing still have the cloak? Is there a trail of maybe the dye running on other trees leading us where it went?
Make an investigation or a survival to see if you can like track that.
Let's see.
I'll do an investigation.
Okay.
Survival's my highest.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, Otto's able to find like bits of the trees where the dye has stained. Yep. With the working together, you two are able to see that, yep, there is in fact bits of dye staying in the tree. It stains really well and is difficult to get out. And the trees themselves are not blue, so it stands out pretty well. And you're actually able to follow a good trail deeper into the swamp, following continuing broken branches, the occasional footprint, and the blue dye. You're able to make your way deeper into the swamp. Yep. Going through it takes about an hour. Continuing to follow this trail, you figure you're maybe a mile into the swamp at this point. And I think we're going to switch over.
Oh, man.
Ooh, nice. Maps.
And you're in the bottom left-hand corner here.
Yeah, okay, I see all of our tokens down there. Zooming out.
At
is,
Oh,
this
it's
point,
useful.
right click to move around. Got it.
Graham is going to suggest before we go further, reckon we should probably be on our guard. And he's going to ready his shield, and he's going to take out a warhammer that actually looks kind of rounded. It's got some brass bands on it. It looks kind of more ceremonial. I mean, it's still large and functional, but it looks a bit fancier than your run-of-the-mill bash a dude's brain in hammer.
Good.
That looks expensive.
Nah, mostly just the incense and the oil and the sacraments and the whatnot.
Let's see.
Quick question. How far is each square?
Each square is 5 feet.
Got it.
And
Alright, well, I guess Chungus takes his great axe out, and it's just like smiles. He's like,
this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, Jacques
I
takes
like
out
to
his
hit
book.
things with this.
Can I go stealth?
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Wait.
Jacques is able to just... Also, with the benefit of being covered in mud from his fall, he is able to stealth into the swamp with 0 trouble.
Just slowly subsumes down into it the last time he sees his eyes.
That was his plan the whole time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Graham will head to the front of the formation, probably with Chungus or somebody.
Okay.
Whoever wants to.
And in
Chungus
the...
just does as he's instructed.
Yeah, I can go over here.
About a dozen or so feet into the swamp, you actually see a small ramshackle-looking kind of like hut, almost made of stone, stick, mud, right here.
Where is it?
Oh, sorry, it's kind of in the center of the map.
Okay.
Yep.
Looks like a little hobbit hole.
Yeah.
Where?
Right northeast of us, right there.
Yep, right there.
Got it.
I see it.
Kaito will take out his great sword, and I'll just stand right here on the left side of the flank.
Okay.
Now ain't that looking cozy?
Alright, let's go take a peek. Okay, are we going over here? I'm gonna go check that little hobbit hole out.
Now hang on. Whoever lives
Okay.
there is pretty big.
Okay.
Not take kindly to visitors.
Well, I'll wait then.
All right. So, Chungus, as you're like waiting at the edge there, before it gets into the deeper.
Fall.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're basically on dry land with a small depression that has some waist-high water in it. You actually see a pair of eyes that are coming out of the water, and they're actually heading towards you.
Hi there. There's something in here, guys. Hey, what's your name?
At
Right,
which
Chungus.
point
Hides.
a crocodile comes out of the water and starts swimming towards Chungus. And I would
Chungus
like
just puts his axe down and gets ready to grapple.
everybody to roll initiative. Just click on your token and then roll for initiative.
Click on token.
Yep.
That's on the care sheet still, right?
Yes, it is. It is for
I-
you.
I clicked on the token. Initiative isn't.
On
I
your
see.
token. I'm sorry, on the character sheet. Yep.
There you go.
First fight.
I thought the whole little button would light up, but it's actually just the word.
Yeah. So it's a good thing there's no actual country voice here to critique my horrible accent.
I am judging you.
For my French, which is like
Oh,
terrible.
bigot.
How?
He goes Russian every now and then.
Yeah, it's
I
all
wouldn't say
over the
kid.
place.
Hello, I'm a kid.
All over the place.
Well, you know what the great thing is? It's a fantasy setting, so your accent is perfectly accurate for wherever you are.
Awesome.
Otto.
Some good rolls.
Beats the shit out of speaking Game of Thrones Queen's English.
You are the first up as you Chungus is looking at this crocodile and preparing to hug it.
Did you actually fight a crocodile before? That was part of your bio, wasn't it?
Oh
he
no,
said that
we were
before.
just talking about that. Yeah, Chungus was just one of the was a pit fighter and kind of a gladiator type,
So-
traveling sideshow.
So I
So he's
texted.
just fought anything.
I texted, but that's what I thought. I had that meme with, like, me checking if there's fall damage in my new game. When he fell. That's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, so it's 5 feet per.
Yep.
So
A
30
big
is.
boy.
So my speed of 30 would be
6 squares.
6 squares. Okay. 3, 4. So can I go up to Chungus and pull him back?
Yeah, you would make. Let's see here. So you can go up the next to Chungus, and then you can attempt to make a athletics check. And Chungus, do you want to move? Do you want to allow Otto to kind of pull you back?
I mean, Chungus is kind of focused. He's ready to like punch the alligator.
Okay.
He's
And
like
we-
already put his.
Oh, I
axe
thought you were
down.
hugging
He's-
it. That's why.
Well,
No, he's just put his axe down. He's just gonna fight it with his fists.
yeah. Chungus looks like he's gonna grapple it, but he looks like
Oh,
arms open.
He's gonna
Okay.
square up.
And
Where's the
Otto,
alligator? Like, where's the alligator token?
it's right here.
Okay.
Ah, I see.
Also, one thing you can keep in mind for D&D is you can hold an action. It uses your reaction to do it, but what you do is you basically say, I would like to do an action if this event occurs. So Otto could go, Otto could be like, I'm going to have my sword and shield ready, and if the alligator or crocodile gets in next to me, I'm going to attack it.
Yeah.
Like
Okay. so-
Overwatch.
yeah. Pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
So I'll move over here and do that.
Yeah.
That's
Just because that's like a rule that isn't in a ton of settings, but is in fact in 5e.
Yeah, so I grab. Yeah, so I'm pretty much ready with my sword and shield, and I'll stand next to Chungus, who's gonna go wrestling.
Okay.
Wrestling.
And you're going to hold your action for if the crocodile gets in
Yeah.
range. Okay. So the crocodile, Otto, it's his turn. It's the crocodile's turn. I believe they have, swim speed of 30. 5, 10, 15, 30, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's almost within range. But it is not quite. As if that's how far it could swim within like 6 seconds. Fiffle, you're up.
Piffle moves up and hides behind Chungus.
All right, go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Oops. I guess you're hiding behind both of us, but
Great.
Fiffle is invisible.
Yep. Damn it.
Incredible stealth rolls.
There it is.
I just closed it.
to double click on the character sheet to
I don't
minimize.
think
It's
you
the
have
greatest
me
thing you ever taught me.
on here, Ian.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I don't think you have me on the initiative order here.
Did you click your character and then click to roll?
I did.
You got a
You
19.
did, you rolled a 19.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll add you in. It's not that big a deal.
I couldn't do anything anyway, and I wasn't going to be doing anything, so
Oh, you're just gonna be pretty much holding.
yeah, I'm just gonna like be ready to engage in.
Chungus
Physical
moves like
combat.
Chungus
flexes
got.
his
Oh, he got a
fingers.
19. Yeah, so he's actually.
The Chungus gazes in your direction.
The Chungus.
I'll just put Chungus as. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work. Okay. So Fiffle just hides.
Behind both
Chungus.
melee.
Yep. Okay. So it is Kaito. You're up.
Are you grappling him right now, Chungus, or not yet?
No, I'm just gonna use unarmed on him. Either I don't have grappling yet, so I'm gonna just like.
I believe grappling is one of the actions you can do.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's still 5 feet away.
I don't
though.
need a
It's
feat
just-
for
Less
it?
convoluted than it is in later or earlier editions.
It's just
Okay.
an attack action.
Yeah. Okay, so I might be grappling it. I'm gonna definitely just be like, usually I'm gonna be throwing down.
He's prepared to square up with it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I will move 10 feet in front, or to the right, I guess, and then I will try to cast a fireball at him.
Okay. Go ahead and make that attack.
All right. It's not that, is it? No, it's not.
Nope. It is just. Let's see here. Yeah, it's under spell save DC. Yep, I think you would just click on the actual spell attack action. Let me just take a quick look at your character sheet. I will admit I'm not 100% used to the character sheet for Roll20 for this, but I believe you wrote it that.
You have it in your attacks and spellcasting.
Yeah, you have to click the one on
wait.
the.
Ooh,
I don't
It'll be
have
like-
it in my attacks and spellcasting. Is that where I
I
was supposed
think
to
you
put it?
can.
Hit the little plus.
I have the
sign.
same thing. I can click it for you.
No, that's not it. Yep, there you
How'd
go.
you do
11.
that? Oh, you had it in your attack. Okay.
I have it.
I'll
I
start
have it
adding
in
on
my
there then.
attack thing.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah, I think what you could do is you could actually just make one that is like ranged spell attack, and just use that for everything. Which is actually something I had thought of more recently, and I just completely spaced on like telling you guys that that'd be a little more practical. But the firebolt shoots out, but it strikes the water directly next to the crocodile, and it doesn't hit, unfortunately.
All right.
That's my turn right there. Yep.
Okay. Graham, you're up.
All right. Let me real quick see how close. Oh yeah, we're plenty close.
Oh,
I will, before I move into melee with it, I will cast. Actually, no, I won't. I was gonna do Sapping Sting, but instead I'm gonna wade into melee with it, and I'm gonna try to bop it with my hammer.
Go ahead and make it le bop.
Roll to bop. One sec.
Loading, bopping. Please wait.
Okay. Unfortunately, you go to bash it, and your warhammer just kind of like bounces off the thick hide.
Dag nabbit.
But you actually also see coming towards the group as well is another crocodile.
Hey, eyes forward. We got a second one coming.
I'm sorry, real quick. I just realized that I can roll things from D&D Beyond.
Oh,
right
cool.
from my character sheet. Is that okay? Or
That is
do you guys
perfectly
see that?
acceptable. Yep.
Okay, great.
I can see it, and it works great. I didn't realize that was something we could do.
I just clicked it, and it looked like it worked, so I'd love to try that.
Oh yeah, that'll be perfect.
I just want to say that that crocodile Patreon neutral party is amazing.
I got the I got the one from Neutral Party is like one of my favorite map makers, and he has like a bunch of free stuff and a Patreon.
These are
Yeah,
nice.
I just like how the crocodile looks like it's the logo.
Yeah, like right away, this is a nice map.
Yeah, this is a very nice map.
The artwork looks nice too.
All right. Let's see here. So Graham, that was your turn.
Yeah.
All right. It is the second crocodile. He's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 as he swims
Damn.
towards you.
Okay.
Jacques, you are up. You are hidden from the crocodiles. They do not see you.
But if I attack it, I'll lose my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and. What I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna do a ray of frost at the further crocodile, this lower one.
This one guy right here?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, this is 60, I think. 10, 20, 30.
I believe you're on 65, 10.
Yeah, you should be right.
Oh, and actually one fun thing is there's a little ruler icon, and you can in fact...
50 feet.
Oh, nice. Oh, I gotta figure that out. Is that top left?
It is in the middle. It is. I have a slightly different view from you because of the GM, but there's like, it looks like a circle with a ruler sticking out of it, and if you just drag and hold, it will. Yeah. Perfect. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll figure that out.
And the ray of frost hits that crocodile. Its speed is reduced, and you can roll for damage.
1d8 gold. Yeah, and yep. Okay. And. Ooh. Oh, yeah.
And 7 damage. Do you get any additional damage from the spell? Like, does it add any of your modifiers to it? Like your intelligence modifier?
I don't.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I'm not 100%.
That's a little more rare in 5th ed than other editions.
I don't 100% remember is the problem. I'll go with the 7. That was a lot of damage still. Okay. Did you want to do anything else on your turn?
Just move like here.
All right, perfect. Chungus, you're up.
Yeah. So Chungus just sees this crocodile here, and he's going to approach it and attempt to give it a captain's hammer over the head. He's just
All
like,
right. All right, go ahead. As you move into the swamp here, it's going to be difficult terrain. It's going to be moving at half speed unless you have a swimming speed.
I don't think I do.
Okay. Oh, you can also move here, which actually does have a little bit of land on it still.
Where?
Right
It's
here,
right
just
in
north
front of
of
me.
Graham.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to move to then.
Okay. And you're going to do what to the crocodile?
That would be the captain's hammer.
Give it a little kiss.
All right. So you're just going to punch it?
No, I'm giving it a captain's hammer. You know, like a two-handed strike over the head.
Is that a wrestling thing? I don't know that.
Oh, it's a thing. It's a Star Trek thing.
Oh, that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, your unarmed does hit.
I think
It's
in
1d4.
Yep.
I
You
think
can
in
just
wrestling-
click the where it says unarmed,
I think in wrestling it's like an axe handle smash or something.
And you-
God damn.
and you drop 10
Wow.
Damn, because that's a +4. Jeez Louise. Yeah, you drop a full 10 hit points. Chungus just smashes this thing in the head.
That
And,
can't possibly be right.
That can absolutely be right.
well, you
No,
get a
it says
plus.
+6. There's no. I don't know how it's getting +6.
I believe your strength is +4, correct?
Yes.
And
And then you're proficient in
Plus two.
unarmed.
Oh.
+2.
Yeah,
Proficiency goes into damage?
No.
actually,
Listen,
that's
No,
true.
that
That's
doesn't make
weird.
sense. Yeah, that's.
Maybe you have some sort of other bonus?
I'll double check this. I'm gonna double
I
have
think it
the.
should be. Yeah, I think that you may need to take a look at that.
I'm gonna double check the math on this afterwards. I can adjust it on the character sheet later. This is just the very first fight. I'm not really concerned if you guys drop more damage than you really are supposed to be able to.
Out of curiosity, did you click unarmed in the chat? Did you click that unarmed button right underneath it?
I did not. No.
I think
I see.
There
Yep.
it
So
is,
if you
that
click it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you actually do 7.
Okay.
The
That's fine.
4.
I think
Yep.
that's more accurate.
Yeah. I was looking at that. Okay. There we are. So you have dropped. You still bash it pretty aggressively, and it is not looking very happy with what Chungus has just done to it.
Can't imagine why.
Otto, you're up.
let me see. So Mr. Chungus is in front of me. I will. I gotta use the character. This is Matt, right?
Yes.
So what is it? -10 for speed if you go into a swamp.
Yep. It's basically each square instead of being 5 feet of movement is 10 if
Okay.
for difficult terrain.
I will move here
Okay.
and attack the crocodile.
Roger, Roger. Go ahead.
Alright, let me see. So.
Yeah, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Hold up. How do I?
So you see where it
just
says.
click- yeah.
Click the longsword one-handed in the chat.
Yep.
Oh wait.
No. So you just click on
Oh, I see.
underneath the 23, and you highlight it. It will be
Oh,
red.
Oh, I see.
Yep. Yeah, and you do 7. You just slash it right where Chungus has struck it. Another 7 points. And the crocodile is really hurt. He is not happy. It's like thrashing and preparing to it's looking really mad. Let's just put it that way. Fiffle, you're up.
Okay. I wish to shoot at this crocodile with my short bow.
Roger that.
Does that itch? What's that?
It's like the sneak attack too, since the crocodile doesn't have his noise there.
It's
I
gonna
have
get.
advantage because I'm hidden from him.
You also believe get sneak attack damage because it is in combat. It's in melee with friends of yours.
Exactly. So
Yeah, it's a lot clearer when you can get sneak attack. It's a lot less of a pain in the dick.
Yep.
yes. So I will attack once, and if I hit, I will get extra damages.
You just it's close, but the arrow you fire manages to find purchase into the hide of the crocodile.
It does.
Yep, it hits and does damage.
Must have just hit the AC.
Oh.
Does, yeah, and also this. Aha.
Yeah. And I think there's actually a thing on the character sheet where you can just check it off and it actually does the sneak attack damage for you. But a total of 13 damage as the arrow, well, I guess I should say, Fiffle, how do you want to kill this crocodile?
As they're fighting the crocodile, an arrow flies out of a bush, and you're like, did that bush just shoot an arrow? And then it just goes into the crocodile's eye, and he dies.
And the crocodile just begins to sink into the swamp, into the water.
That was some mighty fine shooting.
But you're not out of the woods yet. Kaito, you're up.
Okay. I will move up. 5, 10, 15. Right here.
Okay.
And I will attempt a firebolt yet again.
All right, go ahead. And unfortunately, nope. The firebolt just strikes the water and just rapid evaporation steam bursts through, but the crocodile does not. He's not affected by it.
Let's keep an eye on our average rolls, because Roll20 betrayed the fuck out of us routinely in our Dark Heresy game.
It did, but remember, you also got some really good early rolls.
That's
True.
Oh, you mean when Mike critically intimidated somebody with like a strength of like 15?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, he also made me burn my fate point. Like, invited to Mike's wedding, and I'm gonna bring that up.
You're gonna be in his.
Oh,
Matt, you're gonna
It's
be
such
giving
it's
Mike.
It's such a pain point for Matt.
It hurts so
You
bad.
sh-
I never got it back.
You shot me, so
Oh, cry more.
you
Matt.
shot me. I didn't make a big deal about it.
Matt, let's
So
be
no
honest. You're gonna be giving a eulogy at Mike's funeral, be like, so Mike made me burn a fate point in an imaginary game.
And
Like,
I'm still not quite
I'm
over
gonna,
it.
I'm gonna stand up and I'll cry about it more.
all right, but Matt, you're up. You're up.
Alright. So, Graham will quickly reposition to head off the other croc, moving into melee with it.
Okay.
And he'll also, as he advances and makes a swing. Now, I can never remember the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. Any of y'all happen to... Nah? Alright. And then I'll drop the hammer.
I know they'll both eat your sheep. So
Drop the hammer.
I will drop the hammer.
I believe crocodiles have a rounder snout. The hammer manages to find purchase on the rounded snout of the crocodile. Go ahead and roll damage.
Boink.
And you just bash its nose for an additional 5.
Just a gentle boop.
It was a little bit higher than gentle.
True. That was more of a crumple zone boop.
As bonk, and it sinks into the water bit, and it just opens up and snaps shut, trying to like. Well, it's going to attempt to bite you, really.
Alright, that makes sense.
So
You think cyber crocodiles feel pain?
Nah, but reckon we should take their hides back? I bet you the town could probably make use of them.
all right.
Exist.
That
The crocodile tries to snap and just kind of like hits the shield, doesn't manage to get purchase, and attempts to. Well, I guess that's really about it. It just manages to try and strike you, and it is just incapable of it.
What's your
I'll
armor
stay behind
class?
me now. He's kind of grimacing with the effort of holding back a full-grown monstrous crocodile.
All right. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, what's his AC?
No, Matt's.
Oh, mine is 17 at the moment.
Yeah. No problem. Jacques, you're up.
Jacques. Jacques is going to shoot a little bit of a firebolt at this other alligator.
Oh, roger that.
Alligator, actually.
Yep. The firebolt manages to strike and hit the crocodile. Go ahead and roll damage.
you could just click Firebolt.
That's what it was.
Can I?
Word.
Yeah,
Really.
Yep.
just the word on chat.
Yep.
Firebolt, the word.
Just, yeah,
Underneath-
translate.
12.
There you go. And you hit it for an additional. Oh, that was right. It does actually roll. That's got a 1d10. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's 1d10 plus your intelligence modifier, which is what I thought it was, for a total of 8. And Jacques, how would you like to kill this crocodile?
Oh. I would like it to kind of shoot it and have it go right inside his mouth and kind of explode him from the inside.
Right as the crocodile opens up its mouth to attempt to like strike at Graham again, a firebolt shoots right down its throat. Its eyes go wide as a crocodile's eyes can, and just boom, and it rolls onto its back.
Perfect.
Graham takes a step back and whistles appreciatively. Y'all are some pretty fine marksmen, gotta say.
Yes.
His accent seems to get thicker in the heat of combat. You'll notice this about him immediately.
Well, I found that if my enemies aren't dead, then I'm enemies. So.
And Graham will look down at the slain gators / crocodiles, and he'll start a brief prayer. And if anybody listens in, one of the apparently important lines is "honor the firmament," as he just says a brief "thanks for dying, so we didn't."
Do them things feet match the footprints?
Nope, they don't. They're like tiny compared to what was placed down, and they are not human shaped. Although one thing you notice, tied around each of their neck is a strip of blue cloth, just kind of tied around like a necklace or a collar.
So we just killed probably that hut dweller's pets.
Yeah. Those little doggies.
Concerning, I think we just killed the guard dogs.
Well, we're here to kill with the garden, so that's all right.
Well, only if we gotta, but I suspect we gotta. Let's take a look. He looks back towards that hovel / hobbit hole. Has anything come out of it?
No.
Well, as we were then. Just eventually gonna turn into fucking Dale Gribble.
Chungus, go take a look at that other island.
All right. You're all moving up to the hut, or what are you doing?
Jax is staying still.
I think Chungus is feeling pretty thrilled by battle and is just like kind of just like moving, continuing moving forward.
I'm gonna go over here.
Graham will keep moving forward cautiously, shield up and at the ready.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
check.
I will move behind them as well.
Yeah. I guess we can just like wave everybody over when it's clear.
Okay.
If it's clear.
Okay.
Looking back, you also see Elia Oak. She's just kind of like writing something down, standing about 20 feet behind you.
She's grading us.
Good job, everyone.
Revitalize your business.
You should make an icon for her and just give her like a school teacher icon.
Oh, she's younger than a lot of you people. Like, actually, probably most, if not all of you.
I'm imagining like
18, 19 is what you said, right?
Like Dark Knight Returns Batgirl.
Is it safe to say I can get to this little hovel here without issue?
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, so I make my way all the way to it and I peek inside.
Looking inside, you see a number of things. You see it's basically in a corner a pile of bone, animal bone, like a single cow skull, animal bone, a recently consumed raw sheep. Like somebody just bit the sheep as it was without doing any dressing at all, as well as a pile of, you see some tools, metal equipment, things like horseshoes, hose, rakes, scythes, hammers, and
living creatures in there, because I don't really care very much about all that.
Nope, you don't see. Oh, you also do see some gold and a few coins, but you don't see a living creature inside.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff in here.
Oh.
Nobody in here.
Go check it.
Yeah, let's take it.
Yeah, let's
Can
go.
we
Loot it.
Can we skin the alligators or like take some alligator
Maybe like
teeth
truss up their bodies
or
with tools and bring them
chop
back.
them up, take some alligator meat?
Yep, you can do that. Go ahead and make a nature or survival.
Let me see. I might be able to be of help with that.
Man,
Please, I am not good at this, but I'd like to be.
If you're not trained
Chungus
in it,
isn't motivated by wealth or
Sure.
trinkets.
yeah, if you're not trained in it, you can assist people and give them advantage on the roll.
yeah, I can try to assist.
Yeah, I'll assist.
How do we just roll for the assist?
Nope. If you're assisting somebody, they will roll with advantage, which means they roll a second. They roll twice, and they take the higher of the two numbers. Yep. And disadvantage, you roll twice, and you take the lower of the two numbers. As opposed to me adding plus 10, 20, 30, or negative 10, 20, 30.
I actually like that.
If you pass go, you collect $200.
Awesome.
So somebody gave me advantage, so I should roll again.
Yep. Please roll again. Yeah.
Ooh.
Your for a rather cat who attempts to be clean and fastidious, he's really good at like just opening up and skinning the alligators, pulling out their teeth. It takes about an hour to do all this though. But in that time, and actually, did anybody else investigate the hobbit hole or just Chungus?
Yeah,
I'm with
I was gonna get
Chungus.
in there next.
Yeah, I'm with Chungus right now.
Okay. Looking inside, you also see the skull of a cow. You see bone. You see a sheep that has somebody basically took a live sheep that was moving around and so just took a big bite out of it, like an apple. But you also see coin and 10 gold, 8 silver.
What about the tools?
Do you see the tools are a lot of horseshoes? It's a lot of metal, but like just kind of iron metal that has been made for the village. It's hoes, pitchforks, scythes, hammers, anything you think that could be useful to a farmer.
We should probably bring that stuff back.
Yep. Now, does it look like there's any signs of intelligence or just something large and brutish and hoarding that grabs whatever it can find?
Just large, brutish hoarding. And actually, you kind of hear pushing through the swamp a large creature heading to you from the north.
Yep.
You have about 6 seconds before you think it's going to arrive.
Did that
my
hour
gosh, that's not
complete
very long.
where I was like doing that stuff, or that's in the middle of?
No, that's like at the end of the hour.
Okay, cool.
I'll leave
we-
the
do I have
hut
any-
and face northward.
Okay. Oh, you can move your character where you think you would be within that hour's time.
I'm really bad about doing that.
Yeah. Is Jacques with the rest of the team, or is he kind of
How
farther
much-
back?
Gold was it? I was gonna grab
It was 10 gold, 8 silver.
He's gonna be like kind of hiding behind this tree over here.
I
Alright.
was getting ready to grab all the tools and implements, but
Wait, did we like what direction is the sound coming from?
It's coming from the north. Yep.
From the north. Okay.
And this creature is not making an attempt to be stealthy in any way. And from the north, you see this giant 12-foot tall ogre pushing through the undergrowth. He is covered in just very like a leather loincloth, and that's about it. Like a necklace made of bone and teeth. He has a giant club in one hand and javelin in the other.
I was gonna say, for a second, I thought I was just a really fat pig.
And he's just like, "More Chinese! Get back from me!" And I would like everyone to once again roll initiative.
hell, you been eating good.
Nice.
Wow. Selected.
Wow.
Of course, I would roll a freaking 6. I've
And
like gotten like 2 extremes.
I love the idea that Chungus is just a lightning bruiser. Fucking like DBZ's refighting while being this giant fucking slab of stupid.
there we are.
Chungus readies his great axe in this case.
All right. Well, Fiffle is quick on the draw and is first up as he sees this giant ogre just wade through the water onto land with his club ready to strike you all.
Okay. Piffle will once again hide behind Chungus.
Okay. I figure you can arrange yourself as you were, so go ahead and roll. And do you get the ability to hide as a bonus action at level 1 as a rogue, or is that a later thing?
Level 2.
Level 2, okay.
This
So
would be
you would use your action to hide. Yep. This creature, I don't believe is smart. I'm going to let you in a little secret. This thing cannot see you. It's
I
not a
forgot
very...
to, click my icon. I gotta roll initiative again. Hold on.
we can add you in. What was...
It was 21, but I just rolled for a 10 right now.
All right, that's fine. Actually, I can even adjust that, to be honest. Here, I'll roll you for the first one. We're still getting used to how it's...
The 21 is definitely there.
Yeah, it's also... We're still getting used to how this is rolling, so I'm not really terribly concerned if, like, there's a few issues with, like, as we're learning the system.
Cool.
All right, Fiffle hides behind Chungus. You got this, everyone. Don't worry.
Got him on the ropes, big guy.
Kaido, you're up.
All right, I am going to hope to God I don't miss this firebolt again, or else I'm not using it ever again.
Well, with that firebolt, you haven't used it too much. Like, you're still getting your groove on, but you just send that thing directly into the center of this ogre, and you do three damage. 3 damage. Yep.
Yay.
As you strike it directly dead center, and the ogre just slams the club on the ground to try and intimidate you.
I'm mad about things.
Chungus, you're up.
Yeah, Chungus readies his great axe, and he's just gonna run towards the thing and attempt to just take a big swing at it.
All right.
We're gonna wrestle it.
No, he's armed.
All right. Yeah, Chungus, you can go ahead and attack. Yep. The great axe sinks into the creature. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
Damn, Daniel. Okay, 12. And Chungus just sinks that great axe directly in, and it is absolutely furious. Graham, you're up.
All right. Let's see.
Challenger in his territory.
Yeah, I guess there's not much else for it. Graham will advance to help keep the flank, or keep him from advancing any further into the group, and he will do another... Actually, hold that thought. Let me take a look at my cantrips. I have another necromancy one that might be fun.
Power word kill.
Was it Graham or Grim?
It's as a cantrip. You die twice, save for half.
No, you have to take the Melkor class if you want to take Wish at Will at level 1.
Yeah, let me see if Chill Touch is actually worth using versus a bonk. Because it's a touch attack, obviously.
Yeah. I'll have to double check that, actually.
Your character's name is Graham or Grim?
Graham.
Graham.
Like the cracker.
Yeah.
Like a cracker.
Gotcha.
I guess he is a cracker.
You're all crackers.
Yeah, no, I'll just bonk him with the hammer.
Make le bonk.
Yep. Sorry, bear with me. I'm still getting used to...
I know, yeah. No, it's not that concerning. Once we play a little bit longer and you guys get more used to the character sheet, it's going to make a lot more sense. Yeah, Graham strikes home with that thing. Go ahead, and you do 5 bludgeoning damage to that bad boy.
Continuing to do snoot boots.
Just... it's a tall creature, and you just manage to strike it on its stomach.
I reckon we made it mad.
Jacques, you're up.
Jacques is kind of shitting his pants right now because that thing looks freaking huge and nasty.
Yeah.
But he kind of like steadies himself and shoots a fireball. Like a firebolt.
Okay, go ahead. Unfortunately, the firebolt just kind of goes a little wide, like singes the shoulder, but like bouncing off its thick hide. It does, unfortunately, no damage.
Okay, and I'm not gonna move, and that's it.
Okay. Otto, you're up. Is Ed having some more trouble? Oh, Ed's having more trouble. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see anything coming from him, but well, I'll just if anybody wants to like play for Otto for just a second, and I'll roll for his character sheet.
Well, he's got that longsword. Probably makes sense for him to join the melee line.
Okay.
Just
So
have him move up.
I will move. Yeah, which one? Yeah, I just got a text. I'm assuming it's Ed having some trouble. Oh. Move me next to the right of Mike and attack. Okay, that's what I suspected he was going to do.
Yeah, that was what I had.
Alright. And we'll have him attack one-handed.
Nice.
And he strikes home, doing 7 slashing damage to this ogre. Alright, so with that, the ogre is cut. He's been cut twice, shot with a firebolt, hit with a hammer. He's not happy. And he's looking at Chungus, the biggest of you three, right in the center, because he's not really great at making decisions. And he's gonna raise up his like huge, like kind of tree trunk club and just drop it down where Chungus is. I'm assuming 23 hits.
Yeah, definitely.
And oh my god, he rolled max on like both. He just slams down on Chungus, doing 20 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, Chungus just like immediately, just like,
Aw.
Just ragdolls like a spider.
Damn. Shit.
Chungus is unconscious.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Fiffle, you're up.
As Chungus crumbles
get hit.
onto Piffle, curses softly, but being still hidden from the beast, he will shoot it again.
Okay, go ahead.
Or shoot it for a first time, rather. So I will have advantage on the attack.
Oh no, you are hidden, so yes, you do.
Who did he hit?
He hit Chungus and just clumped.
One shot him for max damage.
All right.
Yes.
Fiffle is able to strike true with his short bow. Go ahead and roll damage. 8 piercing plus your sneak attack damage of 12. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I'm now no longer hidden.
That's true. You could still get like attacks. You could still attack and get sneak attack because they're like in melee with guys, but this just sinks into its chest.
Ogre noises.
Mad about things.
Angry ogre noises.
He's angry about like the state of the economy in the ogre kingdom. He just can't express himself properly because he doesn't know how. And giant, he's actually very elegant. No, he's not. His intelligence is like 5. He's dumber than Chungus.
His ticket got reassigned to the wrong queue. That's why he's angry.
Kaido, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna move into melee range,
Okay.
and we are gonna try something other than fireball.
All
I have a
right.
great sword.
I mean, after what I saw, what happened to Chungus, I think I would try a fireball again.
Yeah, right.
Holy shit.
We're trying to spread aggro here. Try to spread aggro.
Get hit.
Unfortunately, the swing goes a little wild as the ogre kind of like tries and shoves you away, and your greatsword just does not strike purchase. It just.
Could have
Okay.
sharpened it.
It resisted the provoke.
Chungus, you can go ahead and make a death save by clicking on next to your hit dice. It says success, failure, and then just click on where it says death save on your character sheet.
There it is.
You pass. You one successful death save. Oh, actually, Chungus, I'm so sorry. You're a half orc. You're actually still up and running. You have 1 hit point because you went
that's
down,
right.
came back up.
Oh,
So
really?
in fact,
Yeah, right.
please go ahead and make your actual your actual.
Yeah, so basically, Chungus is just like, I'm okay.
It's so hard he's not feeling it yet.
He's still
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
too stupid to die.
He's like,
Chungus is just like, I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mama didn't call me in
Yeah,
for
just
lunch
take
yet.
another swing with the great axe here.
All right. Unfortunately, don't worry. I don't do the thing where you only missed. I don't do a thing where like ones have you like drop your sword because as you get better, as you level up, you attack more often, and it just increases the chance of rolling a 1. So the best swordsman can drop their sword twice in an attack. It's crazy. So Chungus, you just miss. The great axe. You're a little woozy, and the great axe just goes wild.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of strength or control right now. So
I was gonna heal Chungus, but it might be better to keep that heal in reserve.
I would just wait that. Yeah, I would just hold that.
Graham, you're up.
Well, if I'm keeping my spell in reserve, then probably I don't want to waste a cantrip, so I will bonk.
Make
le bonk.
Make a
Le
bonk
bonk.
roll.
Make a vicious boop.
Put this ogre in horny jail.
Having 1 damage boops, at least one of the die.
Yeah.
If you're not booping, you're not trying.
All right. Warhammer
Nice.
strikes true. Put this ogre in horny jail. And an additional 6 damage. All right. All right. Hey, it wasn't min damage.
You're not wrong. It was close though.
It was a little more aggressive boop.
This ogre is looking a bit rough now, being swarmed by you all, just as like the heat is dropped on him by like all of you guys working together.
Teamwork.
Jacques, you're up.
Jacques is just gonna, go to the old faithful. He's gonna go straight firebolt. He's aiming for the mouth again this time.
All right. Yeah, that hits true. Right in the mouth chin area. Go ahead and roll damage. And a lovely 9 damage to this bad boy.
In the face.
This thing is looking absolutely like rough. He is not having himself a good time. Ugh! Shinies! Puppies! Otto, you're up.
I will attack him again.
All right, go ahead.
This time I'll actually be here to attack.
Yep, your long sword is able to get a good striking. Go ahead and roll damage. 7 slashing. And Otto, how would you like to do this?
I would like to slit his throat with a slash.
Nice.
Otto this thing's tall, but Otto's got the length of his sword and just reaches up and just right across the throat, cutting deep into its throat, almost striking the spinal column, and this thing blood starts pouring out, and it's just sputtering, falls to its knees, and collapses. You all moving out of the way of it as it just falls down dead in front of you.
Nice.
Elia comes to you all. Wow, good work, everyone. You handled that pretty well. She does a lay on hands on Chungus, healing him for 15 hit points.
Ah, thank you kindly.
Okay. Oh,
Looks
thank
down at
you.
the giant.
That was nice.
Shortly
of
thereafter,
you.
Piffle emerges from a bush, kind of comes up, prods the ogre with his toe,
Poor big fella.
nods.
Speaking of Chungus, how you feeling? You okay?
I feel a little woozy. I'm gonna sit over here for a bit. He just like sits on the grass over in the swamp over here.
Yeah, you take a load off. Let me take a... Just going through the concussion stuff like medieval cleric.
Oh,
Chungus clearly has a concussion.
one final thing you notice, as the ogre falls face first, sticking out of the back, you actually see a couple of arrows that you've seen earlier this morning. They have the black and red coloring on them.
They're sticking
Just
out
gonna
of
run
his
up
back,
to him too.
like as if he's been shot by those arrows.
He's been shot by those arrows, and that's the coloring of House Harkins.
Yes.
Harkonnen.
And a few minutes pass. It takes about 10-15 minutes, at which point you hear a horse kind of marching its way through the swamp, and you see on horseback Sir Rowan Sharp. It's been a few hours since he left, but by this point he arrives.
Throw him a wave.
Yeah, looks like you took care of this. Ellie kind of nervously heads up to him and hands him the arrows. These were sticking out of its back, sir. He just takes them, crushes them, and they like snap in his hand. Is like, goddamn Lord Harkins told us he didn't see this thing. Bastard.
Perhaps he didn't want to scare us off.
No, I know what it was. He wanted to shortchange us. Say it was crocodile or something taking it, and then he could pay us less.
Well, he ain't getting away with that now, is he?
Can we like take the? Can we take the head as a trophy?
Yeah, can we like loot
It's actually
the
just what I was thinking.
body and
Drag it back to town and drop it in their town square.
everything in that little hovel too?
Oh yeah, you can take anything in you'd like in the
Bring
hovel.
everything
I already
away
took the
from
money.
hovel, yeah.
Just so you know.
I'll have spent the intervening time before he showed up, just kind of laying all the tools out, getting an inventory, and then wrapping them up in a blanket or something, and putting them in my pack, and
Yep.
then
Yeah, it's
trying to
about.
get the. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's about a dozen different tools, and like 8, 9 different horseshoes.
And
Oh yeah, take it all.
I'm also going to have laid out the body of the giant or the ogre, and am just kind of looking it over. We should definitely bring back proof of this feller, but
Oh yeah, his head.
Mhm,
We can,
mhm.
and then
Agreed.
in the future, when we have our own guild hall, we can just mount the head. This is our first adventure.
Hey,
I like that.
like that. Oui.
All right, so you take the head, and the body itself is about 600 pounds, so it'd be a little rough to move the whole thing.
I'll
I mean-
either build a cairn for it, cremate it, or just some acknowledgement that something alive has died.
All right. Elia, as you're preparing this, Elia kneels down next to it and gives a prayer herself.
Kind of give her a nod over the corpse.
You did well, everyone. Really well. I'll definitely, when I give my full report to Sir Sharp and the Guildmaster, I will make sure to get the highest praises. You have done really well today.
Hooray.
Will be very highly paid.
Yeah. Sir Sharp, he's in a foul mood, you can tell, just from what's going on, but he does. I'm going to make sure to get the money from our dear patron Lord Harkins. But in the meantime, here's the money that's going to be allocated as your pay. He gives each of you 20 gold.
Hooray!
Yay.
Hey.
Scraps! Wonderful, wonderful scraps!
Oh, there'll be more of that. Don't you worry, Graham. Don't you worry.
Nah, he's fine with it in character. He's just being a sassy pants.
Yeah. And, all right, come on.
Do I have a gold slot on my sheet?
Yes, you do. If
It's
you,
GP, right? What's EP
Oh.
stand for?
Are you taking one of these horseshoes?
it's Electrium, something like
Ele-
that.
elect-
Electrum, yeah. I have never seen it used. It just exists as like just
it's
in case.
holdover from when tracking coin, like treasure weight, was a major component of the game, and figuring out how to get your loot home was like a challenge unto itself.
That sounds tedious.
But yeah. The only thing you really need to know is 10 copper is a silver, 10 silver is a gold, 10 gold
10
is a
gold.
platinum.
Okay, standard.
Yep.
PP.
Can you
PP.
actually? Do you need to
You
transition, or like is it you have 10 copper? You can just make it a silver.
you would need to go and trade that in, but
Okay.
yeah.
So there might be different availability of like money changers.
Yep. All right, Sir Sharp bounces horse. All right, everyone, come on. We'll head back to the village. Let them know we succeeded. I'm gonna have words with Lord Harkins, and you all need to become full members of the guild. And he actually he reaches into a sack and he actually pulls out little medallions, necklaces that contain the guild symbol around them.
Hooray!
Here you go, everyone. We're gonna do the actual ceremony tonight, but you're full members. These aren't magic or anything, but they actually have a lot of weight, or at least did at one point in time. There was a time you could go around to really anywhere in the world, show this, and you could get some respect, some special treatment, or at least, a friendly handshake. He just
Is this
shakes
the
his head.
Crossblades emblem?
Yep, that one that was shown, and actually we'll switch back to the here. It shows those 6 blades.
Yep.
Yep. Ellie
You
just
can just put that into inventory, right?
Yep. And you would notice that Elia and Sir Sharp are wearing theirs. She actually is really excited about this. She's like, "Oh, guys, this is great." See, it's this.
She's young and full of energy, and he's just old and full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah, and she's just saying, if you take a look here, it's the 6 swords for the 6 original members of the first founding members of the Crossblades Adventure Guild, and there's 6 of you, so it actually works out really great.
My name's Chungus.
Well, the one thing you should keep in mind, Sir Sharp cuts in, it's 6 swords, but only 2 of the founding members actually primarily use swords. The rest of them used lances, spears, magic bows. So it just looks nice and sounds good to say that they've sicked the crossblades, but let's make our way out of here. And he leads you out of the swamp, taking point. As you get to the edge of the swamp, you look out and there's the hill lining up, and about 20 feet forward, you actually see about a dozen people with crossbows. They're all dressed in the same uniform. Sir Sharp looks at this. Mercenaries, great. And the leader of the mercenaries steps forward. Hey there, we'll be taking that head of yours. Thank you for doing the rough work for us.
The ogre head?
Yeah.
I think not.
Yeah, no.
Lord,
Any crossbowmen, though, he said?
about a dozen. Lord Harkins has paid us a good chunk of change to get that from you.
Yeah, well, reckon you should wander your way back to him and let him know you failed.
Oh, you're done, Guild. Crossblades is old news.
So I could take 6 of them. Can you guys handle the other 6?
Let's do this. Let's show them how the crossblades do it.
Well, it's really like 8 of us, though, if you count the other 2.
At which point Sir Sharp just pulls out a sword. You'll have steel. And he just charges for the leader and cuts him down in a single swipe. The other crossbowmen bolt. They are like completely rout.
Oh, good. Fuck yeah.
Jesus.
Pussies.
Sharp dismounts, takes the mercenary's his like uniform and just wipes the blood clean on it. We're done here.
Jax goes over to loot the body, see if there's anything interesting in there.
It's about 5 gold.
I'll also go over to the body, but I'm just gonna close the wide, paralyzed with terror eyes.
He just points to Sir Sharp points to Graham, leave it. Leave him to the birds.
Wait, what did you say was on the body?
5 gold.
Oh, nice.
Nature can take his body, but there's a way to do things. And this ain't it.
This was a rival of our adventuring company here.
Yeah, it's just like a small mercenary group. Graham, I don't want to hear it. Leave him be. I'm in a foul mood right now.
I flip each of my companions a coin, one of these gold coins.
Okay.
Now, I'll kind of meet his gaze. Like, I'm not scowling at him or anything, but Graham just kind of shakes his head. Listen, this isn't about mercenaries or companies. This is about something bigger than money or fame or glory or even this neck of the woods.
You got 1 minute.
That's all I need. And just kind of takes him off to the side and does a very hasty, sorry we killed you, here's your shit, blah, blah, blah. Become a zombie. It actually does sound like Dale Gribble. Just saying like the Lord's Prayer.
And Otto, you actually feel like you actually feel the diamond in your pocket kind of just glow warm for a brief moment.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, the Sharp takes you into the village, takes the ogre head, shows it to the villagers. You're safe now. Remember everything the Crossblades has done for you, and everything will continue to do for you.
We did return their tools too, right? And everything.
Yep.
Graham will come along and just kind of unfurl the pack of them. And
Do we charge them to take their tools back? There has to be a finder's fee.
I think that's.
I did get 20. I have 20 gold and 8 silver from when we raided the hovel. We can split that up at the end.
It was 10 gold.
10 gold?
I believe it was
That's
10
right.
gold.
Okay, it's 10.
And then he gave you 20 gold after.
That's where. Okay, that's where I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking? 5 copper pieces per tool bag. I think farmers can scrounge up 5 copper pieces.
Pieces? Is there any kids we could take? Any
Yeah,
yeah, we need hands here. I'm looking for hands. If you know what I
the
mean.
founder of Wayfair, ladies and gentlemen. CEO of
Fair
Wayfair.
maidens,
We
you
need to buy
know.
some shelving on Gumtree.
Fair maidens, farmers, you know, just in case, you know. We're trying to keep their lineage going.
Sir,
Thought I was bad. Jesus.
Sir Sharp just like has you dump all the tools. Take it. We're out of here. We'll give you some. Like he looks to the rest of you. We'll get you a finder's fee when we get back.
Great, sounds good.
Oh, yeah,
shakes
so
his-
I just give
Can we
like a
leave
gold
like our
coin.
card, like a Crossblades card or something? The calling card. I have paper and ink. I'm gonna leave a Crossblades calling card with the villagers. Like, let us know if you need anything.
Send a raven.
Crossblades, we're here.
Send a raven if something happens. We'll be here in 6 to 7 business days.
Gary was here. Ash is a loser.
Farmer Pete just takes it. Oh, hey, good. Thanks. This is actually great. I mean, I'm assuming we lost all our sheep and everything, but at least we got the tools back, and we're not going to get.
Well, we
they
have
got
half
the-
a sheep.
Well, you
Yeah,
give them
big
back the.
Whitney and all.
Did you
Sorry
give them
about
like the crocodile stuff too? So that's actually wouldn't that be more
Oh, yeah.
valuable?
Well, that's in my inventory right now. I don't know about giving them the crocodile. Do they look
Hide.
hungry? Do they think? Should we give them the crocodile meat?
They're pretty dirty and thin.
No, I meant the skin, not the meat.
Dirty and thin.
Yeah, we can give them the hide to
The
use
hide.
for
Yeah.
or textiles.
We can give him half the sheep we
All
found.
right, all right. Let's keep the teeth though. I want to keep the teeth.
Okay. So you give them the crocodile skin.
Assuming I don't want to speak for everybody else. Assuming nobody has objections.
What, you want to keep the skin, or you want to give it to them?
I would say give it to them, but we can keep either give them the skin and keep the meat, or the other way around.
Let's give them the meat so we can keep the skin to try to make for some kind of leather or something.
Okay.
Fair
So you
enough.
give them a bunch of crocodile
Give me
meat.
some attractive leather.
Did you say it was 10 gold I got?
It was a total of 30.
No, but from the hobble was 10, right?
It was 10 from the hobble. Yep. But yeah, you just give them the crocodile meat. They're just, oh, thank you. This is a lot more generous than I was expecting.
Well,
There you go.
just remember, cross blades ain't old hat just yet.
A bunch of the villagers come, collect their tools, get a bit of the meat out, including one guy who his shirt is off and has like some like bandages wrapped around his back. Gives Sir Sharp a kind of withering look before taking his tools back and grabbing some of the meat and heading back into the village.
Just kind of side eye him, but not say anything. Kind of a what did you do?
At this point, Sir Sharp just, shh. All right, let's head back. Grab your horses. I got some bad news. I don't really feel like talking about it right now.
Oh boy.
He rides back into. You follow him. It takes about an hour to head back to the guild hall. Waiting outside, you actually see sitting in a chair is Alistair Page, the guild master. You've seen him before. You've spoken to him several times. He's an old man, very old. He's got a long white beard that heads to about chest length. He's got thinning hair. His face is wrinkled, but it's still marked with several different battle scars. He has seen some adventure in his day. Sitting next to him, you see Edwin Nance is the guild steward. A little bit older, he's mid-60s, bald head with a short white beard, and he's smoking a pipe. He has strung across his back a longbow, and to the side of him is Rosalind Hill, late 50s with shoulder-length gray hair, slightly stooped over, walking with a cane. She's the guild treasurer. Welcome back, everyone. Alistair Page looks at you. Ah, excellent. You've done well. Good work. Good work. I will leave it up to dear Edwin here to provide you the final ceremony, and we'll be having a feast for your celebration in the morning. Sir Sharpcutson, Guildmaster, we're a little light on funds as it is. Are you sure if feast is now a good... No. Shop, it's fine. Don't worry. He just turns and heads inside.
All right, feast it is.
Well, that will be in the morning. Our dear Sir Steward Edward will be taking you into town to provide the final oaths and the ceremony where he will be declared full members of the guild.
Okay.
Oh, good girl.
I guess I always wanted to be a member of a thing.
And it's at this point Edwin, older man, as you can see, but he actually is in pretty good shape still. He just comes up. Oh, come on, everyone. I know a tavern where the bartender has promised me free drinks.
Word gets around, huh?
You had me at free.
We'll be doing the final oath there, and he we'll walk. Traditionally, we would walk to do this. Plus, the horses have been riding all day; they need to be fed and watered. It's just a couple hours walk. We'll be fine.
All right.
Okay.
All right, sounds
hours
good.
walk.
It's just it's a few miles, but
It's just like a couple hours.
don't worry, everyone. This is fine. Get some fresh air. I love nature. And he leads you into town. It's the smaller town. Not many people, but you do find the bar. It's the Pork and Barrel, and it just shows a pig on it's a pig drinking from a mug.
Wink.
A pug, if you will.
A pug, and walks inside. At this point, it's getting a little bit. It's dusk, and he leads you in. Henry, you owe me some drinks, you bastard. Bartender. Taller, stockier man, bald, no beard, just Edwin, and he just starts pouring drinks. And Edwin comes in. A few people are drinking. There's maybe a dozen or so people in here, and he's like, "Everyone, we have some new members of the Crossblades Adventuring Guild." People looking around, they're a little in their cups, but they're like, And he's like, "All right, we'll be doing the oaths." After everyone takes their first drink, of course, and he takes a mug and just downs it in a single gulp, slams it on the table. After you lot all.
To the living.
Yeah, Chungus pounds one.
Yeah, Jax goes up there, grabs
Yeah.
one, pounds
Ooh.
two.
Couple attempts to pound it, but it's like as big as his head.
The ale is flowing this evening, and
Not bad.
you're all getting a little bit tipsy, and he's like, "All right, everyone, hold still. You got to give the oath. Everyone, all right. Raise your hand. Raise your right hand. Hold up your guild symbol in your left hand, like this, eh? All right. Repeat after me. I swear to uphold the customs and integrity of the Crossblade Adventuring Guild.
I swear.
I swear to
Honor and integrity.
uphold the integrity of the
Crossblade
guild.
Guild.
And it probably sounds exactly like that with all
Yeah. Yeah, it's,
After just hiccuping the whole time. The
Yep.
guild of the crossbow.
I almost picture Chungus burping at the end of that.
Alright. I vow to protect my fellow guildmates from trouble great and small.
I vow to
I vow to protect my
Small.
fellow children.
small.
My guild mates, big or small.
Small.
I vow to always act in a manner that honors the guild and my fellow guildmates.
I vow to always act in a
Vow.
manner that honors the guild and my fellow
Kill
guild.
me.
I vow to always act in a
Yes.
manner.
Honor
Hang
and
on,
mates.
Alright. To the guild! And he holds up a mug and just downs it again.
Hey!
You've all had
Uh,
a decent amount of alcohol at this point. And really, the crowd is actually being attracted. There's a big crowd now. People have come in, either they're out of work, or they've just been, they kind of hear this commotion, see what's going on, and oh, yeah, the adventuring, the Crossblades Guild, yeah, they've done some good work every once in a while.
I'll take it.
Graham, funny enough, you actually see, standing kind of near the entrance, you see Elia Oak. She doesn't say anything, or really, she's just kind of quiet, mouth agape.
Agape, huh? Does she look like surprised or like dismayed?
A little of both, actually.
Huh.
But some people cross in front, and you just lose sight of her for a second, and you can't track where she is anymore.
Okay. I'll vaguely raise my tankard in that direction, and then turn back to the bar and think about that.
All right. As the night gets deeper and deeper, you eventually pass out, wake up in the morning, pounding headaches.
I used to be a bartender. Is my headache as bad as theirs?
Roll a Constitution save. Actually, yeah. Anybody roll Constitution, because I want to see how bad your hangovers are. No, Otto's fine.
Kaito can't sleep, so
Yeah.
what would you like me to do for that one?
You can roll it as well. You're still gonna get hungover, but it's yeah. You're pretty bad. Like
The dice are
That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
all right. So Otto is fine. He's had ale at his time. He knows how to like nurse his drink and also how to like hold his liquor. Graham's a little. He's young. He'll be fine. He'll a little bit of water. He'll be good to go. Fiffle, short, but has handled his liquor great. It is Jacques and Kaito who are just. Can you turn off the sun, please?
Sacre bleu.
Does anyone have a spell for this?
Mon Dieu.
He like
Shut
help
up.
them and like get over it, like give them some advice, bring them whatever they need.
Edwin's just kind of rousing you up. All right, everyone, we got ourselves a morning. We're gonna get some bacon, eggs, hash browns,
Why are you
and
talking so loud?
Oh man.
Quiet.
I'll give him a gentle pat on the shoulder.
at this point, a courier on foot runs up, looking for Edwin Nance. Right here, man. News from the Guildmaster. You're to report back immediately. That's unusual. Didn't think we'd be on our way back soon enough. I didn't think he'd be calling us so soon. All right, everyone, let's go. Got a bit of a hike ahead of us.
Oh God, did he say a nap or a hike?
No.
Ah.
Only one job
hi,
per
Colin.
2 days for us here.
Slaps Kaito on the back. Welcome to the guild. You make your way back to the guild hall. Takes a couple hours, but you eventually get there. Some of you might empty your stomach on the way out. And you arrive, and sitting outside is Guildmaster Page. We have some bad news. Edwin, can you come here, please? Just outside here, please, folks, everyone. We'll be just a moment. Edwin comes. You whisper back and forth. Edwin runs inside. He comes back about 20 minutes later. Okay. Guildmaster, he looks at you all. I have some rather bad news, everyone. And I have a lot to ask from you. Sir Rowan Sharp has struck down Elia Oak last night.
What?
What?
Elia Oak is dead. Rosalind Hill butts in. She died with her sword in her hand for the honor of the guild. As near as we can tell,
Mr. Sharp killed his squire.
we're not sure, but as far as we can tell, he went down to the treasury to, well, he's stolen some of our treasures, some of the remaining ones we have, and she tried to stop him, and he struck her down.
Huh. Well, that ain't good.
He's stolen many treasures, even as far back as the start of the guild, really, including an anti-scrying stone. And he struck down all the horses as well, taking only his.
Is that what makes you sure it's him?
Well, we were able to identify that, yes, the numerous clues. He also, and they kind of look at one another and just trail off. We're sure it's him.
Can I persuasion check for them to actually just say it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a persuasion.
Let's see.
And I'll
Yeah. How does Otto try and convince them?
You're not doing a very good job of hiding the obvious here, so just out with it. It's there
They'll-
for everybody.
Elia Oak was reanimated as an undead, and we had to cut her down again.
What? Now that Graham just kind of sits up and he's very, very still. And he's just.
As
So it seems an evil necromancer was a high-ranking member of your organization for some time.
no, we think that Sir Rowan Sharp has always had that ability. As for what he does or serves now, we're not sure. But give us some days. We're going to investigate this, but we need you to track him down and kill him. For the honor of the guild and for the honor of Elia.
begging your pardon, I'd like to see to whatever's left of the body.
Please, Graham. And Edwin leads you down into the basement where the treasure room was. The block to the door has been cut open. Elia lays on the ground, perfectly still, mouth agape, just as you saw her last night.
Oh, no.
She looked awful concerned about something for just a minute last night at the party.
That's
Can we investigate the lock? You say it is broken. How?
Yep. Go ahead and make an investigation check. The lock looks like it was just slashed open with a sword. It's not a very strong lock. Looking around, you can also see that there was a bit of a fight, very brief, in the actual treasure room. And you do see Elias Oak's sword laying next to her. So you do kind of come to the same conclusion they did, that she possibly heard the noise, came down to investigate, interrupted Sir Sharp, and he killed her.
This is out of care. So So you said that the Elia Oak he killed was reanimated.
Yeah. Yep, that's what they said.
So the Elia Oak we've completely known the entire time was a reanimated
Nope. From what?
It's all happened last night.
Yeah.
So-
From what they
so
describe.
he killed her, then reanimated her.
Yep, that's what you're able to
Killed her
piece
again.
together.
Okay.
Then the other members killed her.
Oh.
She was basically a zombie, and they had to strike her down again.
Does she still look like a zombie now?
Right now, she was pretty fresh when raised, so she looks mostly okay. But yeah, she definitely has the telltale signs of undead. Her eyes are like black over. She has some fresh wounds that have like coagulated blood around them that indicate her initial fatal wound before getting cut with the second wound as the zombie.
Yeah, Graham will be doing CSI yokel. Just her blood wasn't flowing when she was cut here, here, and here, but this was where she was felled when she was still alive.
Yep, and he just sees like blood that has poured down from the wound on like a chest. The second wound is to her neck. That is where all the blood is still coagulated, indicating the fatal zombie attack.
And he's basically just going to see to the funerary rites and make sure her spirit isn't like throwing a fucking rager.
This explains why he was in a bad mood when you tried to give that guy his last rites.
Might do.
Graham thinks he might have seen her ghost, and he has an idea about when she was cut down.
Ah, hell. I didn't see her at the party last night. Not alive, anyway. Damn. And he'll tell based on his vision of her death or his vision of her spirit when she died, like when he saw her.
Yep. Thinking about it, it would be a simple enough roll. I'm not going to make you make it, but her spirit might have been trying to reach out to you all for assistance.
Well, we're here now, darling.
We're going to fast forward a couple of days, about 4 days. At which point Edwin comes in. You've all been waiting for news. Like, well, everyone, we've been able to track, talking to a few of our contacts, found out where Sharp has gone to. He's gone and boarded a ship to the country of Viderheim. That's where the very first guild hall for the Adventuring Guild is.
Is there some significance to this first guild hall in Viderheim?
Well, it was formed a few hundred years ago. It was the initial 6 members of the Adventuring Guild struck down a mad mage, used the money to found the guild, has the first guild hall there. We don't know if it's coincidence. Viderheim's a bit far north.
This mad mage leave any, mad mage shit behind?
I don't think so. As far as I can remember from my history, he was a Orwellian Empire citizen. This is when the Orwellian Empire decided to exit Viderheim when their empire was contracting. I guess he stayed behind to do whatever it was. They struck him down, killing him, and then used the money both that he had acquired and that they got as a reward to found the guild. And we've been around for the past few hundred years.
Can I do a history check on Viderheim?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Nice.
Viderheim is it's a country that is very far to the northwest. It's going to be several weeks of travel by boat. It was originally controlled by the Orwellian Empire. They controlled a lot of stuff. They're actually, the territory, the country you're in currently, was at one point ruled by them as well. Viderheim was considered almost like their crown jewel by the fact that it was very hard to get troops there and to maintain control. So that it was just a prestige colony.
A colonial flex.
Yeah. As their empire contracted and they lost more and more territory just due to numerous factors, they left Viderheim some 600 years ago, I believe it was.
Is there any history of like spiritual turmoil in the land or any scholarly pursuit of necromancy in the land?
Yeah. So you would know enough that Viderheim, necromancy is legal. It's not necessarily accepted. It's far more legal and accepted within the remaining Orwellian Empire. It's also legal within Viderheim to an extent.
Decriminalized.
Legalize?
So there are some practicing necromancers. They have a tendency to keep it down low and just stick within scholarly circles.
But there's nothing like that might specifically call out, hey, this guy's an evil necromancer or in the service of an evil necromancer. This is where you would go for evil necromancy shit?
Not that you're aware of. Viderheim is just, it's a large country. It's not as sparsely populated as a lot of countries are. It has a functioning, it's technically a duchy and is ruled by a duke. The only real historical significance to you is the fact that, yes, it does contain the very first Crossed Blades Adventuring Guild Hall. And you would know enough about that that had fallen into ruin. Basically, the guild has left that country. About 60 years ago is when they more or less abandoned it. They have an official presence there, but...
It's mostly ceremonial.
Yeah. At this point, Alistair Page, the guildmaster, hobbles in. First time you haven't really seen him sitting. Everyone, I would like for you to all to head to Viderheim. I've chartered a ship with the last of our funds for you. Head to the first guild hall and speak with the last remaining Crossblade Adventurers member in Viderheim. It's Carter Webb.
Carter Webb.
He'll be able to assist you with finding Sharp. I ask you all to put an end to him for the memory of dear Elia and the honor of the guild. He looks like he's about to break into tears.
Don't worry, old man. We'll make it all better, probably. You'll definitely hear from us again soon about that. Thank you for the boat.
Oh, we don't own the boat. It's simply we purchased your passage on the boat.
We don't own the boat yet.
A boat is owned by Carter Webb.
No, I'm sorry, dear. Carter Webb is the last remaining member of the guild in Viderheim. The boat is just a shipping boat. It's technically a cargo vessel running for trade between the two countries. Guild resources in Viderheim might be thin.
So we're acting more or less alone. I gotcha.
That's
You could give us on Sharp before we leave.
Well, the man's been a member of the guild since he was 8 years old. He's practically my son. I don't know what could have caused this. I mean, why would he steal the treasure? Why would he strike down poor Elia? I know he received a message recently, but...
That sounds like an important detail.
What did the message say? From who?
I don't know, is the problem. We heard he had a message. We knew he met with some people before boarding a ship to Viderheim. That was about a week ago. I'll have a week's head start on you. But once you get there, you'll be able to track him down and put an end to him. No problem. I can guarantee it. I trust you all.
Just hired us.
Well, I'll admit.
But sure.
Well,
Very optimistic.
Dear Fiffle, our options are somewhat limited. I'll give you that. But you made an oath to the guild. Remember that. You all made an oath.
Well, I don't remember this oath. That was a very long night.
We were wasted.
What oath? Many beers were flowing.
I'll be going myself no matter what. There's something awful screwy about all of this.
I'd like to go on a boat.
I've never been on a boat.
I don't like water.
Personally, I despise boats.
Can I be surrounded by water?
Or an Argentinian accent now all of a sudden. I like it.
I
But
had to get
Yeah.
away from my home country after.
There's a little Borat in there. There's a little Borat.
Sorry. He's not important.
Nya, nya.
You need a rocket built?
all right. Was there anything you else you wanted to handle here?
If we could get, if there's any sort of info, yes, but I expect this is a little less like Dark Heresy in that we don't have to cram before each mission.
No, and the amount of information you can get is a little limited. As far as you're aware, Sir Sharp was a member of the guild since he was 8. He was an orphan. He was brought in. He was also a member of the Order of Valence, I believe it was. Let me just pull that up real quick.
I have a question about our supplies. Is there a guild supply room?
Can we raid
Gotta
Sharp's
raid
like
the office,
over?
office
Yeah, we
cabinet.
have sharp stuff.
Mainly, I'm
yeah.
looking for a brass brazier.
Yeah. One of them, Edwin goes into the treasure room. He's like, well, we got this. And he hands you a brazier.
Perfect.
I suppose this is all we've got left. Pickings are a little thin, unfortunately.
Can we investigate
Thank you.
this guy's room?
Yeah, go
Where
ahead.
he was?
Yeah, he had a room in the guild hall.
Let's see.
I wrote this down. Where did I write that?
Oh, nice call.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So let's go investigate.
Okay. Otto was able to go to his room. Most of it has been cleaned up. He lived Otto would have been, I believe you were Sir Sharp's squire as well?
Yeah, I'm a squire too.
Yeah. He always lived a rather Spartan lifestyle. His bed is oddly messy. When normally he would make it every morning. He has also taken everything he can that just basically all his stuff. He's like ready, and he's also a knight errant, so he's very used to like traveling light. But you do see that in the fireplace are some burned letters.
Can we pocket the blankets? Can we take them for a journey?
Yeah, you can grab the blankets if you like.
Is there anything salvageable from the fireplace?
Yeah, the fire. I was thinking-
Looking through, it's the letters are written in a really old script. Graham would be able to recognize this as ancient common. Ancient common is not used as much anymore. It's primarily a court language, or the language of like scholars. Most of it, like the ink has run or has been damaged by the flame. But it does say like Viter in the front, and join us is a little bit remaining.
I'll write that down again in a journal, and he'll kind of mutter to himself that this is written in the language the dead speak in. At least the old dead.
Yep.
And no hidden like compartments or anything. I'm assuming that would also entail my investigation.
You did not find any. He probably didn't have any that you can think of.
I'd like to take Elia's guild symbol medallion.
Okay.
If she still has it on her.
Yeah, they're prepared. Her body has already been prepared for funerary rites. Stripped of armor, basically, she's in a white robe. Her wounds have been dressed so that it doesn't stain the robe, and she's being prepared for burial in the guild crypt. Her medallion is clasped in her hand.
Right out of her dead fingers.
Yeah, I thought it would probably be a good swaying thing to have once we talk to Rowan, but maybe it's a burial.
Can we not bring her back to life one more time?
You would know. Make an Arcana check.
You can always ask your dead liaison after.
Yep. So you would know enough that if you're killed, you can be brought back a few different ways. But if you're brought back as an undead, you can only be brought back via true resurrection or a wish spell. And that is basically the domain of clerics and wizards who are mostly extinct. There's really nobody that powerful anymore. You're actually a little wondering, did he in fact bring her back as an undead just to do that?
Oh, just to keep her...
Yep.
You might have done.
She gave us those bracelets.
Yeah, you still have your bracelet on you.
The grass bracelet.
Yeah, the good luck grass bracelets from her.
Did she make one for herself?
No, but Edwin has actually done one and placed it on her hand, on her wrist.
While I'm tending to the dead, I was gonna do that if somebody else hadn't.
Cool.
Just lots of... He's busying himself with funerary shit. Like, he's kind of involved himself with making sure she's buried and sent on properly.
And yeah, Alistair's there. We'll be interring her in the crypt, a place of honor for her.
Seems only right.
Yes, we should stay for the funeral, but then we should probably start heading to the docks.
Yep.
Get that ship.
The funeral is a quick affair. It doesn't the wake. It doesn't have any bit more than the remaining guild members, you guys, and maybe a couple of people from the surrounding towns.
Yeah, there can't be that many people left in and around the guild.
At this point, it's 18 people. The funeral itself is just you and Alistair, Edwin, and Rosalind. You pick up her body, and as the pallbearers bring her down into the crypt, passing by some of the older guild members. They have opened up a spot for her. You place her body into the crypt, seal it shut, and a plaque has already been chiseled showing the name Elia Oak. She died with honor.
Is Alistair Page there?
He is, yep. They've all followed you down. It's cold and dank, but they're still going down no matter what.
Okay. I kind of go up to, Jax goes up to him and just starts expressing his admiration and, oh, I'm so happy to meet you. You are my idol. I was wondering if I could have your autograph. I have always wanted to be part of the Crossblades Guild and have always wanted your autograph. You are such a powerful guild master. Would you do this for me?
Of course. He's dabbing like tears from his eyes, but he like does write down his like name on a piece of paper and hands it to you. There you are, Jacques. Thank you.
Watch very closely as he does this, and I thank him very graciously, and
And take out a loan with his signature.
His hand is a little unsteady, and his signature is, you can tell it's letters, but it looks more scribbly.
Mm-hmm.
But you in fact have his signature.
Graph that to my mind to use for false identity for false papers later.
Okay. Was there anything else that everybody wanted to do here?
Graham will give a brief,
Googly.
Eulogy?
just a brief,
Googly.
like, prairie kind of
A grief eulogy?
Yeah, just kind of tell her they did you dirty, but we're gonna take care of it. Very, very bumpkin-y, even when he's being formal.
All right. The eulogy is brief. It's definitely reminiscent of the villages further out in the countryside. But the members of the guild, Alistair, Edwin, Rosalind, they all bow their heads and they thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
I bow back.
All right. So at this point, we'll fast forward a few days. You manage to head into the larger town, board the ship, the Twilight Treader, and the captain there greets you. He's like, "Oh, we're expecting you. Crossblades Venturing Guild. Yeah, there we are. All right. Well, we're about 8 weeks out from Viderheim. Hope none of you get seasick. It can be rough weather out there."
Did you say 8 weeks?
Yeah, it's 8 weeks.
The long trip.
It's far to the northwest. You're going to be, can grab some fishing poles and try and pass the time that way. And no fire on board, please.
Gotcha.
No fire.
Trust me, a ship on fire in the middle of the ocean is probably the last thing we want to experience.
It's probably the last thing you will experience.
I have some ice for the fire. Don't you worry.
All
Cook
right.
some grilled fish. Very nice.
Well, we got hammocks for you all. Food's going to be paid for already. The whole trip for you has been paid for. Won't be comfortable, be cramped. It's going to be, got some animals on board, so it's going to be a little smelly, but we'll get you to Viderheim, no problem.
Great. Allez-vous.
And
There's gonna be sea monsters.
with that, sea monsters? Well, this route's mostly safe. We should be fine.
The mostly part really sold it.
I've only seen a few in my time. Most of the time, we can outrun them.
They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Are we still on land right now, or are we already on the ship, kind of just?
You're like on the dock, on the deck of the ship, while it is docked. Sailors are going around pulling up anchors, unhooking the ship from the actual dock, and are preparing to drop the sails.
Now, y'all seem like a pretty well-traveled bunch, but even though we didn't know her that long, that was a rather sudden and drastic way to find a friend's life had been taken. So, if y'all need grief counseling, that's one of the things within my domain. So, I'll be here. You're like, doctor is in, 5 cents sign.
Peanut style.
I'd like to sign up for the first session. Seeing as I'm haunted, I have everything to talk about except for the issue that happened with Elia. It's like everything else. When I was 6 years old, it was terrible.
I
That
cast
might actually make for some fun RP on the boat ride if it's not a time skip.
Oh yeah, we can do some RP. That'd be fun.
Because Graham hasn't been too. He's not keeping secrets, but he also isn't venturing stuff unless asked.
Okay.
Thus far, he just seems to really be involved with dead things.
seriously.
All
Like
right.
it's very clearly just his bag.
All right.
Yeah, and like most of the group is involved with that things too in some capacity.
One way or the other, yeah. We are a D&D group. Blood
Oh.
is kind of carved into our job.
All right. Oh, and did Jacques want to cast anything?
Yeah, can I cast Find Familiar?
Yes, you
like,
can.
while I have this Brazier thing and they don't want fire on the ship, but before we get on the ship,
Yeah.
I'd like to cast Find Familiar and I think make it an owl. We were talking about the owl is, I think, the best in perception in terms of helping with perception.
Yeah, if you would like, you can have a owl pop in. So, yeah, describe the little ceremony you do to. I'm assuming you do it via ritual. Or.
Yeah, so I take my little brazier and my component pouch and I put it all in there and I kind of do a little mini firebolt action in there to set it on fire and summon my owl familiar, and kind of like rises from the ashes of this and kind of spreads its wings and lands on my shoulder and just kind of looks around just as shifty-eyed as I am, just trying to pay attention to everyone and making sure that nobody's staring at us for too long.
He
Otto
does.
Otto just goes, "What's his name?"
Well,
His
I'll
name
get
is
back to you on that.
Owl.
Should
Just
couldn't
name
pronounce
Owl
it.
Owl?
Couldn't pronounce
Yes.
it in your language.
I posted a link to how you summon a familiar when you're going for an owl in the Zoom
Yeah.
chat.
I'll take a look in a second.
Let's do
Owlecto.
this.
That's a pretty good name for an owl. Owlecto.
And he has
Oh,
one
like
hit
the-
point. Alecto. Perfect. All right. He does actually see some sailors like look at this occur. Like, it's not every day. It's not strictly that rare, but generally speaking, wizards will do this like behind closed doors. Out on the dock is a new thing for them.
He said no fire on the boat.
And then I nonchalantly ask him what the name is.
I'll tell you later.
Roxanne is a good one.
Cinnamon. Marzipan.
Oh wait, Roxanne is Mike's dog's name. I didn't even get that.
Yeah. But at this point, the ship is ready to take off. Captain does the last call before they start to bring in the gangplanks. Anyone going is better to be on board.
Well, that's us.
And
Yep.
the sails drop. The wind catches as the onboard sorcerer does some voodoo magic, and the ship takes off as you begin your 2-month journey to Viderheim.
2 months.
And we will call it here.